Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Heroes Community Lounge. I'm going to be one of your casters, Bahamut. Joining me this evening is Cat Peach. We have got a lovely best of 5 for all of you. How are you doing, Cat?
I am ready to see the motion in the ocean tonight between these teams, Muhammad. Gotta say, it's gonna be wavy. I think.
I think the wavy is definitely going to be a good way to describe this. Now, for anyone who's wondering what this is a best of 5 series between the members of Tatski's Frenzy versus BigScary's Duck, a joke that turned into a best of 5 series. And now we find ourselves here. Some of the rules for anyone that is wondering: there are no map bans, so every map is open except for the ARAM map and the 2 sandbox maps, which makes sense because those are a little on the unfair side and we're not doing anything special around those. But what I do want to harp on is the fact that every other map is open. So we could be going to Haunted Mines, we could be going to Blackheart's Bay, we could be seeing Warhead Junction. So a lot of fun maps that are going to be popping up. And obviously on that note, we're not allowing them to have map bans, so every map is going to be up and available for choice. But we already see that there is going to be a target ban onto the Kill Desired Cat Peach. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I don't know why you would ban Kel'Thuzad against a team that has coffee on it. Like, that just makes no sense whatsoever. Absolutely. But on the other side, the Fiery Mage getting burned out, Kael'thas. I'm really excited. These 2 teams, I don't think you gave them any requirements for, like, ranks or anything like that. So no. I'm really excited to see how these teams come together. Like, there's obviously some familiar names, just across the Heroes community, and more so if you're very much involved in Tatski's community too. So it's just fun to see everyone get together to have some good old-fashioned competition come in,
The competition is one of the things that I'm most excited about here, and the other factor too is we're just seeing target bans. Like Tatski, like that's going to be, I think those are 2 target bans towards coffee. This is going to be the Kael'thas. I believe that is Tatski's Kael'thas that's going to be removed. I wonder if we see something like a Diablo being taken away. This is going to be Dragonshire, so they do need to consider the factor of like what the team fight's going to look like in bottom lane. What's going to be your solo lane matchup? Do we get a wandering Keg Chen? Like, what are we going to be getting for this top lane matchup? Also, do we get any memes? Like that's disappointing. That is probably one of the most disappointing things to start out tonight's stream.
Before we get too far into the draft, though, I got to chat a little bit with both Tatski and BigScary Duck prior to the match today, and one of the things I was talking to them about is advantages that they think they have over the other opponent. And on the side of BigScary's team, simply stating that ducks are objectively superior to sharks because they float. And so they've got that going for them. But on Tatski's side, and I'm gonna read this verbatim for you. A bunch of one-trick ducks walk into a shark bar. Quack, 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 said the ducks. You're in luck, smiled the shark. We serve duck here.
Oh, dear Lord.
Tatski and team with the rhymes, with the calling out there. So things are given that everyone's friends, I wonder how sweaty everyone's gonna get over this,
but I hope very, very sweaty. I just hope this is.
Let's talk about this draft though. Like these first couple picks are prime. We've got 3rd slot Ariel, we got a first pick Rexar coming in, and an early Brightwing too. Like this is stuff of chef kisses.
I just want to see something along the lines of like a Leorc into Rexar, or even just like Malthael, just to be able to really, really make that difficult for them. But we do have this ban phase coming through, and they're going to get rid of the variant once again. This is another target ban towards Tatski, getting rid of her variant play. So we do have something like a Diablo open, but we already see a Joan on the opposing side, so I don't think we're going to be having that pop up. On the side for BigScary's Ducks, Rexar Brightwing, what are you leaning into, Cat Peach, ban-wise?
I mean, I would consider some kind. I'm thinking like maybe it's definitely got to be a melee hero, I think, because there's something about this Brightwing that's and the variant ban that's very interesting to me. Like I think they're a little bit afraid possibly of a taunt, although they're leaving Garrosh up on the table as well, so I'm not sure if this is quite on track. But given a Brightwing, you tend to see a lot of heroes that want to go in deep because you have that polymorph and because Brightwing can really go in deep with you. And so I'm wondering if there's going to be like a Thrall or a Butcher pop up into this and just this full on melee. We're going in and we're going in hard and fast on the side of BigScary's Ducks.
I'm in.
And we see a Diablo and a Kira. So Kira.
She dives.
she dives. She dives. Brightwing could dive right in with her, so
Yeah.
still kind of there.
It plays exactly what you're into saying. I think they're building a great composition for bottom lane. Top lane can get some help from Brightwing as they can get that phase shift up as necessary. Now they need to consider something to round out their solo lane 1, as well as maybe they think something to gank. I personally love the Malthael, and then maybe even think of like a Maiev or something just to rotate into top. But this is Cat Peach. This is just golf clap all around right now. We have a Zagara coming in, and Zagara was basically below like valuable meta, and then she got a couple little changes, and now we're seeing her pop up more consistently around the map. So, and we're gonna have another Nexus born hero to round out our draft on the right hand side. Okay.
I'm seeing, so on the side of Tatski's Frenzy, I'm wondering if this is kind of a 4-person roaming squad with allowing Zagara to maybe spread that creep between maybe, you know, bottom and mid lane, allow her to get a little bit of that movement speed eventually in between lanes, and just having her double soak while the other 4 just really own hard on one of the shrines in the top lane, you know?
I agree with that 100%. As we get out of our first draft, thank you so much, Heroes Lounge, for the mega host. Welcome, everyone, from Heroes Lounge. We are currently doing a fun little best of 5 series with a bunch of people from the Heroes of the Storm community. We just got through our first draft, first one of our best of 5 series, and it's looking pretty good.
What are you doing?
Ben is just unsure about the draft, and he can't find his placement.
I thought his head was buried in the blanket. I thought he was just like full-on flamingoing in there. I was so confused.
But welcome everyone from Heroes Lounge stream. Thank you so much for raiding into, well, bluntly, what is going to be a clown fiesta this evening. We have, I believe, what's on the line right now is bragging rights, and probably the loser's gonna have to buy the winner some Taco Bell, at least between Tatski and Big Scary. That's what I'm putting on the line for them. I'm hoping that they go through with that. But all of that aside, I hope everyone's ready, because we are about to get into Dragonshire. And Coffee, thank you for the raid as well. Thank you for bringing all the viewership over here. Let's go ahead and get into game number 1 of our best of 5 series. On the left hand side, we got Tatski's Frenzy. Admech is going to be on the Jaina. We're going to be seeing Sarah on the Ariel. Locke is going to be on the Zagara. Tatski going to be on the Joanna, and Alex Did's going to be on the Thrall.
And over in the red, we do have Big Scary's Ducks. We're going to see Bimpy playing Rexxar going top lane. Big Scary Duck himself will be on Orphea. Fluffy on the Diablo. Coffee will be playing Kira, and Tilted Sister on the Brightwing.
Let's go ahead and jump on into our mid lane and see what our first engagement looks like. Cat Peach gonna be seeing the Rexxar already just rotate to top and say don't really care about our first lane engagement. We're just gonna be here and we're gonna be soaking up in this top lane. Also, for anyone that is wondering, yes, this is live. We are on current patch. This is not a replay, and Deathwing is up and available. Experience globes are gonna be there, and we already saw Deathwing being banned out in the draft. But mid lane engagement, just a little bit of back and forth, Cat Peach.
Yeah, back and forth so far over the line of scrimmage at the very least. Tatski's Frenzy starting to inch their way forward. Alex Did's really showing that they're going to get those Crash Lightning stacks for sure in this game with testing out that B key, it seems. But the rotation's coming through. We see Rexxar already up in the top lane too. Rexxar's going to be really strong in those once the shrines do spawn. He has such great control over that, and I think especially against the Zagara, it might actually be difficult for her to try to keep control of him. But Tatski's Frenzy might be getting a gank out to Big Scary Duck, but Tilt's his sister with the heal comes in.
Phase shift just in time, just to make sure that they don't go down, but that will be on cooldown. They did, ooh, wow, that's a great route from Thrall. Kira does get the grapple towards the gate and won't be getting picked off, as Fluffy's looking for an angle, but they realize, well, my whole team is away from this. If I try and dive in on them, that might be me just setting myself up for death. So they kind of reset, they get back into lane, look for more experience, and they set up for our first shrine phase. The big thing will be who gets the first Dragonite and how they're going to utilize it. If they split between the lanes, forcing a lot of the enemy team to split up and try and, you know, defend against all of the pressure coming in is the better way to put that. Or if they're just going to say, you know what, we take down the Dragonite, we don't care about what other push you get in. But it looks like they're going to be making an invade on this camp, Cat Peach.
Yeah, Tatski's Frenzy getting really aggressive going in on this camp. The stun is out onto Fluffy. They're trying to get out. Coffee trying to get the damages too. Diablo trying to get away, gets pulled in with the Condemn, able to sneak behind their own fort. Big Scary Duck also on the retreat. The camp does go over to the side of Tatski's Frenzy. They are just throwing fisticuffs right out the gate here, Bahamut.
Is it just me, or does Alex have some key binding issues or something? I keep seeing them trying to Hearth, but they don't.
Yeah, like I know he's part of here. Hearth, but like we get the joke, Alex. You're part of Heroes Hearth. You don't have to like Hearth all the time, you know?
I mean,
Like,
we see the spray. We don't need the Hearth as well. It's an odd one. They might want to recheck their key bindings. Maybe they're trying to auto attack or step away. But Alex is actually going to get dove upon right here. Kira with the revolving sweep. Alex does have the Wind Fury, but the last hit from Orphea will confirm first blood over to the members of Big Scary's Duck. And it looks like Coffee having the exact same issues.
Yeah, I think maybe it's some kind of virus that gets spread once you kill someone on the opposing side. Like your B key just kind of gets a little sticky, you know? Like I had that happen recently. Like some of my keys were being sticky. I had to pull them out, clean them out. Maybe that's something that Alex and Coffee might need to look into or something. I don't know.
I believe they're like sponsored by Corsair. I think they could just ask them for a new keyboard if it's sticking like this. But either way, we do have Locke in this top lane trying to hold this back as no one's able to grab the Dragonite just yet. Tilted Sister was making sure the mid lane soak does come through. This is actually going to be a little experience advantage in favor for the members of Tatski's Frenzy. Alex is going to I thought they were going to be able to make it out with the overpower, but the Slam is going to be enough to get the kill, and they follow up on top of the Jaina. That right there should give them the availability for the Dragonite with two members down on the opposing side.
Yeah, Johanna is hanging out in mid lane, so Toxie might be able to at least, hold off on anyone being able to channel on the Dragonite until the rest of the team is back and, could maybe swap the shrines over to their favor, but it is just Tatski versus not entirely the world, but three members.
Tatski just casually 1v3ing and just like delaying long enough for the friendly team to get in. Unfortunately, they get picked off right there, and we actually do have Ariel 1v1ing into Diablo in the bottom lane. This is actually Ariel winning this out, forcing the phase shift out from the Brightwing. Now this makes it a 2v2 in mid, but it doesn't seem like they're going to continue engaging right there. Let's actually jump over to the top lane. Oh wait, hold on. Let's look at this bottom lane as Sarah's all by themselves against this Diablo and Brightwing, but they're going to be fine. They make it out, and back in... Oh, actually, hold on. Back in mid, we're going to be having a potential Dragonite.
I was looking at chat and seeing that during draft, once the Ariel came out for Sarah. Oh, Big Scary Duck. Yes. Bit of the spell shield. Able to make it out. Alex did. Also making out. Just another Stalemite going on. But it seemed like a big deal when Sarah Ryan got the Ariel. They were like, GG, it's over. Good game. Like, so I'm excited. If she can 1v1 in Diablo in confidence, I'm looking at this Ariel and thinking, there's going to be some plays made here.
Well, a play being made as Diablo dives in. They finish their soul. Sarah getting very low, has enough healing for themselves. Alex going to be able to cycle around. They're looking for an angle into this fight, but they just don't have a main tank. Since Tatski's still soaking in through mid, making sure they're grabbing this experience. And realistically, you don't need to control the lane, but you don't want to be losing out when it comes to siege. I mean, if this team is able to start whittling down the bottom lane gate, that's going to allow them to be even more aggressive, and they can start pushing into you, potentially take that well away from you as well. We'll keep an eye on this, but this top lane, how like Zagara currently has 39 stacks on serrated spines, and just constantly just stacking that up against the Misha Bear. Like this late game from the members of Tatski's Frenzy could be really, really devastating.
You're absolutely right, and I think on the side of Big Scary's Duck, given that, you have to win early, and you have to win a lot early. So if there could be a rotation, help pick off that Zagara possibly, and help maybe clear up that top lane a little bit, help clear out that creep. Just have those rotations to kind of get those picks here and there that slowly give you that edge, and they're currently barely sitting at a level advantage as well, so they're starting to get there. On the side of Tatski's Frenzy, what's really throwing me off right here is the fact that we still constantly see Johanna soaking in mid, and I think this is very specifically because we have a Crash Lightning Thrall. He needs those stacks, and that means he's got to stay in those fights, stay in that grouped rotation so he can get those. But that means that someone else has to fill that role of soaking in a different lane. And unfortunately, it means that Tatski's Frenzy is without a tank in the bottom, but it might not matter as Fluffy is taking a ton of damage. Diablo on the retreat. Big Scary Duck trying to zone out, maybe body block a little bit. Coffee trying to get a last bit of damage and also before retreating.
You can see the value from Full Souls on the Diablos. They tapped well and have the entire heal over time bar being filled from them. Great Thrall, Spirit Wolf coming out from them. The Lightning Breath will be going out. Sarah does pop the Crystal Aegis onto Admech, and they actually end up getting the counter kill onto the Kira. Phase shift coming out from the Brightwing as Tilted Sister will be down here helping out Big Scary Duck. And we have Fluffy once again re-engaging down here. This is still going to be a 3v3. We have the Water Elemental coming out from the Jano. There's going to be the Eternal Feast from Orphea, only getting a couple ticks. Now, you made a great point, and I actually wanted to jump on that as well, because when we were talking about this during the draft, the way that I was looking at this as well is that you're going to be having the Thrall and Solo to go up against the... Ooh, that's a very good Detainment Strike as well, but I don't think they'll get the Diablo kill. But either way, just you have the Thrall and the Soul Lane to go up against the Misha Rexar, and they have a lot to sustain off of. That way you can also have the Zagara rotating through mid to bottom, as you were calling out in draft. That way you can spread that creep as much as possible, and Joanna would empower that wave clear with the Condemn, and then you have the Jaina with the just her burst and her just quick wave clear overall. I think that would have worked out really well for them, but at the same time, as you were also noting, doesn't seem like it's too big of a deal for them right now, as they're just able to hold their own in bottom lane. No Dragonite going over to either team just yet, Capeach.
Yeah, this is getting to that point that once you hit level 10, you know heroics are on. It's now the countdown on both sides, right?
Yep.
Try to keep track of who's got heroics up and who doesn't. We saw some early ones used on the side of BigScary's Duck. They're almost off cooldown so far. Zagara is the only one who does not have hers available, although she did take the Nidus Networks. That's not really too meaningful in terms of team fight aspect, but it will allow her to, you know, if we want to see some different rotations come out from Tatski's Frenzy, would allow her to kind of capitalize the network in multiple lanes if she can get that placement at the very least.
Tatski right now trying to
Tatski!
She was buying time, but Coffee should be able to get this. The crazy thing is, the friendly team didn't rotate back and didn't try and stall this out. They had a lot of opportunities here to be able to do that. I also wanted to point out, there's two Nidus Networks next to each other in top lane, and I think this is just for the sustain in top lane. That's all it is. They want to be able to jump in, potentially get away from the Rexar, but then you also get that burst of healing and mana at the same time as well. So it's one of those things to consider, is like, well, they're next to each other, but it also kind of gives you an opportunity to jump into it, and then you can just get behind lane. Another Lightning Breath coming out from the Diablo, slowing them down. Orphea will be able to get one of those just Devour stacks on them. Actually, they didn't even go into Devour. They went into the Ravenous Hunger. This is not something we see too often, and they're only sitting at 15 stacks on that one. But Capeach, they got 13 talent here, a Dragonite, and they're really opening up bottom lane.
Yeah, they're trying to. So far, they've gotten the gate down, but given that we're at level 13 and this far into the game with the first Dragonite, I would have liked to see BigScary's Duck at least take the fort, but Tatski's Frenzy is hard on the defense here. And they're kind of maybe considering chasing. The Water Elemental is almost expired. They do get the Contempt onto Coffee. There's the stun follow-up as well. The sun's coming out from Jaina, and the Blizzard to confirm the kill.
Sarah with the just clutch Detainment Strike into the wall. Like, that was just as Coffee was probably having some tool to be able to get out of that. Maybe the grapple was up and available, or the Revolve, which I believe since they went into a couple of Revolve talents, they should have some armor or some damage mitigation when in that form, or when utilizing that ability. So I think it was just that chain CC that they were able to throw into them. If they're able to consistently do that in the later half of this game, Tatski's Frenzy can really run away with this, because being able to pick off single targets with death timers increasing over time really will empower your team. Meanwhile, just jumping up into the top lane really quickly to check this out. It looks like Misha and Rexar will clear out one of the Nidus Networks, but at the same time, Zagara can just hop in one of those, get a little bit extra mana. Actually, you can see at the top screen that mana bar is being full very quickly, but the Sunder comes out from the Thrall, and this is also the Eternal Feast as well, but I don't think they're going to find themselves a kill just yet, Capeach.
Yeah, not quite yet. It does go in a little bit longer than I thought. Alex did taking a lot of damage, gets the Chrysalis from Ariel. The health bar is on BigScary's Duck going down. Coffee trying to get the pick off there, but not enough damage going out. This fort barely holding on. It sounds like a third of health, so enough health there. They don't lose it entirely, but that health fountain is gone in the bottom lane, so next Shrine phase is going to be a little bit more tricky on the side of BigScary's Ducks.
I feel like we're going to be hitting this somewhere in the 16 or in the 20 talent tier spike. Is just going to be where it's like the one big fight that is just going to be like, cool, we now take Fort Keep. Like, at least that's the way that this game is going for me. I think we're going to be getting top lane is just going to be the sustained fight between the two of them. Also to note, Zagara currently sitting at 106 stacks. That is a bonus attack of 21.2%. If you want to know what that is damage number wise, she does 186, roughly 186 per auto attack currently. That's a lot of damage from a Zagara into just anything in general. So the late game team fight from her could be even more impactful, as we were talking about earlier. But another Dragonite phase has popped up, and we'll see if Tatski's Frenzy can grab this one, or if it'll be BigScary's Duck grabbing a second Dragonite and getting a little bit more value across the map.
At that point, would you call Zagara toxic? Given all that extra toxic, given all that damage, all that acid, all that stuff going out. This is supposed to be some wholesome games.
It's just, yeah, we have broken B keys. That's all we have constantly.
Oh, look at the shark! Totally on brand. Aw, no, bring it back, Tatski.
That's it. We're
If
just
you're
gonna.
watching,
This is
hey,
it.
yeah.
This is it. This is it. This is all we're doing. We're just following Tatski at this point, and we will only be seeing when she sprays. But bottom lane fort does go down as Jaina is able to get a last little bit of damage from the blizzard from that one. So they do have the periodic catapults coming through this lane that might empower them if they're able to pick up a Dragonite themselves. They've got bottom lane held down, but top lane looks like there's a lot of pressure coming in with the Rexar. But that's a great Sundering to start this out, Cat Peach.
Yeah, Coffee uses the grapple, tries to get out, has the revolving string, but ends up on the backside. This might be the end of Coffee because of that, but the healing's still coming out. Is able to get a bit more damage and heal up from that attack, but BigScary's Duck barely making it out of that engagement and getting behind their fort wall. But Toxie's Frenzy trying to see if they can remove this wall entirely before possibly getting the next Dragonite here.
We do have top lane getting pushed in quite a bit, and I wanted to know, actually, hold on, another fight is still engaging in bottom lane as Ad is very out of position. Kira has the grapple forward. The Lightning Breath is going to be slowing them. Coffee actually dove very far forward. Sarah has a little bit of healing for that Jaina as they're able to disengage right there, but that was a little risky. Now, Alex rotated into top lane. Bimpy didn't catch this. They do have the, oh my god, the Zagara! Did she get the range increase as well? No, okay, I think there's a basic attack range increase that she has now when she's on creep. Oh no, she did.
Oh man.
Her attack range at level 16.
Yep.
Jagged Barbs. Oh, and in bottom lane we still have a fight taking place as I'm reading Talons, and Coffee is going to be getting blown up as well. Tatski out of position, but I think this is more so on the side of BigScary's Ducks that need to be running.
Ooh, you talked about earlier how late game the side of Tatski's Frenzy gets scary dangerous, and I think we're starting to see that play out now that we have, you know, the stacks on Zagara, and we can see how much damage she's putting out. We have Crash Lightning finished up as well. This team is stacking, and we all know that Jaina has always been really strong once she gets that icy veins and can just dump snow to the ends of the world and, you know, kill whoever she wants. So this team is, you know, proving exactly that. They're a bit terrifying, and they have got a Dragonite to prove that for themselves.
Bottom lane will be where they run this Dragonite. Everyone just about back up on the side of BigScary's Ducks. They've got a camp coming in with this as well. Rexar is in top lane. They might have seen them for a couple seconds in top lane rotating out. Kick goes out onto BigScary Duck, but they start stepping up onto this Cat Peach, and they drop the Water Elemental as well as a Blessed Shield. That's going to be the Eternal Feast, and they find an insta-kill on Kira.
Yeah, that's the first kill that the Eternal Feast has gotten. A blind goes out. Another kill, it seems, or maybe I am imagining. I thought I saw something die, but apparently it was just my imagination, but not my imagination. Is Dragonite Encore. Zagara kicks away Bimpy, starting to chunk down on that shield. This might be GG so long as no one on Tatski's Frenzies dies. We'll have to see if the Lightning Breath can take anyone out. The Dragonite is expiring. The core's at 65% health. We missed 69 though, Bahamut, but I think it's going to be okay for Tatski's Frenzy. So it looks like they're going to take game number 1 here.
GG's go over to Tatski's Frenzy. A very well played game number 1.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about Eternal Feast real quick, because this has been bugging me ever since level 10 hit, is that there is no lockdown for it.
Yes.
Eternal Feast is great if you have things stationary for a long period of time. But without something like Apocalypse coming through, there's nothing really available on the side of BigScary's Ducks that would have gotten as much value as possible from the Eternal Feast. So if we see another Orphea pick, I would kind of like to see maybe that change up, and we do see the Crushing Jaws come through.
That was, I agree. Like, if they had something like a Leoric to just entomb them, group them up. You also, by the way, you didn't go crazy. The Misha did go down in that fight, because I was looking around.
It was Misha!
It was, because I was looking around.
I was like, I saw something!
You said it, and I was just like, yeah, no, I saw it too. And then I looked at the timers, and I'm like, maybe it was the bear. So the bear did get picked off right at the end of that one, and that is going to be game number 1 going over to the members of Tatski's Frenzy. They go up 1 in our best of 5 series. We'll go ahead and keep it on stats and talents for a couple seconds, as we are going to be finding out what map they want to go to for game number 2 in just a second. And yeah, any closing thoughts on your end on this one going into game number 2?
Going into game number 2, BigScary's Ducks had some really good plays early game. And I think if they focus on keeping an early game lead and just, it's a bit harder now, I think, to kind of keep that early game lead and really let that snowball a bit. But if they can continue to maybe just at least stay a level ahead of their opponents, they showed promise that they were able to do that. And I think going into this next game, they're going to possibly have that as, hard focus for themselves.
Yeah, I think their team fight on both sides was really, really good, but BigScary's Ducks, they had some opportunities that they can really, really kind of dial in and kind of bring it back. But speaking of bring it back, let's take it back to you and Bandit 9, so that way everyone can hear about Bandit's thoughts on this. And speaking of thoughts on this, just really quickly want to thank everyone who's following, who's hanging out. Once again, also to Heroes Lounge for the mega host as we got into this. For anyone who's wondering what this is, we're doing replays a couple weeks ago, and as a joke, I put BigScary's Ducks versus Tatski's Frenzy, and then afterwards, they were actually getting into it in chat, so we were like, all right, you know what, like, let's make this a thing. So the made-up league that is the Heroes Community Lounge is just this. It's just a bunch of fun. There's no money on the line, not yet. Maybe we'll get sponsored by Red Bull. I know they're in your emails, Cat Peach. So you just like kind of need to get back at them. But overall, right now it's bragging rights and probably some Taco Bell. But either way, thank you all so much for joining us. We're gonna find out what we're gonna be going to for game number 2 in just a second. And on the note of maps in general, there are only 3 map bans. We are not allowing the players to actually ban anything out because we want to have the pools open completely. The sandbox mode of Volskaya as well as the sandbox mode of Curse Hollow, those are banned out, as well as the ARAM mode. So that means things like Haunted Mines, Blackheart's Bay, Warhead Junction, maps that we don't see very often, those are going to be up and available for these players to pick up. But we are going to be getting ready for game number 2 here in just a second. We're going to get our lobby set up, and I just got to get everyone in here, and then we'll get going. So thanks all for everyone hanging out, and we really appreciate all the support. Hope you're all enjoying the games.
While we wait for lobby to get set up, I do have some other things to call out from my talk with the team captains from earlier. I asked them to describe their team in 3 words. Which is very interesting. On the side of BigScary's Ducks, absurdly ravenous quacks. Reads like a poem.
It does. So it's haiku-ish.
I thought it might be a quote from Edgar Allan Poe at first, and no, original content from them. On the side of Tatski's Frenzy, though, they decided their 3 words would be, "We be juiced," which. I don't really know what that means. Maybe they all went to Jamba Juice prior to, Maybe they're all sippy. I'm having some apple juice. Maybe they're having some apple juice. We're all juiced here. We're all juicing. In traditional sports, it has a very different meaning.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it really gives you that edge in esports. I'll be honest.
I don't know if it does, but from my interviews with the captains, I'm convinced that BigScary's Ducks are actually 5 ducks at a keyboard. And I haven't seen them. I'm not seeing them play. I could be correct, and I think either that or they had a duck fill out all the answers to the questions I asked. So we'll have to see.
Now, the question that I have for you, Cat Peach, is just how said duck would do exactly that. That is the hardest thing that is the one thing I'm trying to picture, and it's just
a duck typing.
Yeah, because I feel like their feet, both. I feel like their feet would not allow that.
I feel like I saw a commercial once where the Aflac duck was at a computer. So clearly they needed mocap for that. They probably hired a local duck and said, with your wings, just kind of slap down on the keyboard. I'm not a duck. I don't really know. It's not something
fair. You know what? That's wrong on me for asking. That you do make a good point.
If there's any ducks in the audience watching right now, if you can explain to us how you type,
please,
we appreciate it, so we can educate ourselves and be less ignorant.
According to Stanza in chat, Big Scary Duck is just 5 ducks standing on top of each other in a trench coat. Now, I have met Big Scary Duck, and I believe that is very much true. Which is great.
Checks out.
Why is Bimpy captain?
Good job, Reddit.
Set as captain to Big Scary Duck. Okay. All right, we're going. Everyone's saying they're ready, so we're just gonna go. I think we have everything set up correctly. So let's go ahead and get on into game number 2. We are gonna be heading over to Sky Industries. Welcome everyone to our second map of our best of 5 series. Now, I'll be honest here. the Ducks have had both of the map pick priorities for game 1 and game 2, Tatski. Or, excuse me, Cat Peach.
Listen, I know we're both blonde, but jeez.
How rude of me.
Jeez, Bahamut.
Just, the sports beers really hit me good. And I'm just really disappointed by the fact that they're going to be taking us to Dragonshire and now Volskaya Foundry. I'll be honest. I was expecting us to be going to Blackheart's Bay, like something fancy, but just playing it safe here, I guess.
Early stepping stones, I think, of a series like this, where you don't really know too much about the teams. Like, you kind of know the people, but you don't know how they're going to play together. Going to safer maps before you go to the more risky maps.
That's true.
Can give you some intel,
That's true.
Figure out how they play, and then say, how do we exploit that on something very strange, like Haunted Mines,
Please, I just want one Haunted Mines game. That's all I want right now.
I have not seen that map in what feels like 3 years.
Same.
And it has not been 3 years, but it feels that way.
For anyone that is wondering, oh god, I hope there's a Cho'Gall coming. I'm just looking at chat. This actually makes a lot of sense, but for anyone that is wondering, all the maps are open except for the sandbox version of Volskaya, the sandbox version of Cursed Hollow, and the ARAM map. So Volskaya obviously is up and available as well as regular Cursed Hollow. It's just these sandbox modes just because we wanted to be blunt and say like, no, you can't pick it, and then like give yourself infinite mana and the other team is level 1 and you're level 20 to start. Like, I know how that goes. I see you, Big Scary Duck.
I remember how that went.
But actually, the Gazlowe ban makes a lot of sense actually, because if you're gonna go into a best of 5 series where it's just memes, you're having fun, Gazlowe actually works really, really well because you have hired goons, which works just like Sylvanas' Mercenary Queen at level 4. You can buff out the turrets as well as actually the Biotic Emitters are not buffed up, but you also can be split pushing and then just buff out that entire siege camp, which actually from range does a lot of damage, and then also with the hired goons or Mercenary Queen does a lot of work. So I respect that right there. And they're going to respect Sarah's Ariel from game number 1, but we're not seeing any sort of Tatski ban, so we might see an early Kael'thas, could see the early Joanna, and the big boy. The big boy.
Snap. I was going to piggyback off your comments on Gazlowe and say he's also superior. Not superior, but he's one of those characters that's great at zone control, especially on a map like Volskaya. But Deathwing literally just eats up the whole objective space and says, no, this is mine. Like, he's like one of those big dogs who thinks he's a lapdog.
Do you think?
And
oh my god,
like,
yes, absolutely. That is such a.
You're here and you think you fit here, but you don't fit here, Deathwing. You need to get off. Also, you're really hot. You're burning my legs. So.
I feel like you're talking about Strudel.
I might somewhat be talking about. Tatski's Frenzy wins this, hands down.
Now, one thing that I actually want to point out really quickly is they picked up a Greymane. They have percent-based damage into Deathwing. Percent-based damage into Deathwing is...
It's huge.
I watched, the Gilly Shark sent me in a replay of them going up against Party Time, and there was a Leoric going up against their Deathwing. And the Leoric was, I believe, full like Spectral Leech build. Around like level 4, level 7, it was chunking into the health pool of Deathwing. Like it was actually like it's visibly dramatic in how quickly that health bar is diminished by percentage-based damage. So I would expect this to be some sort of, because you already see the Tychus ban, some sort of Leoric, some sort of Malthael here. You got to get rid of one of those. Also, I mean, they would be not having a healer, but they could totally Cho'Gall here, Cat Peach, just saying. I doubt they do that, but like...
I doubt it, but listen,
it's fun to dream.
Sky's the limit, so it's great. The Malthael ban makes sense because of all the reasons you stated with percent-based damage heroes. Curse Bullet with Greymane is going to be very important to land onto Deathwing, I feel, for that reason too. And there's still a bunch of options, but we already saw the Tychus banned out. I was actually surprised not to see the Alarak pulled out from Coffee, but going with the Greymane, I know he's also really comfortable on that, so that's going to assist really greatly. Ana to help sleep that Zul'jin, so you can focus on, from the small side of the Probius to the big side of the Deathwing. I'm telling you, chat, if you have not seen a game with Probius and Deathwing in it at the same time, it is like Clown Shoes amazing like comparison of body models. Like it's insane. Like Probius just hides under the wing of Deathwing and is like, no, this is my house. Like my dad, he protect. Like it's great.
This is a very defensive composition, and this is once again, they're just looking at getting to the late game. It's just late game Zul'jin. Like, that's all they're gonna do. They have zone from Stukov, zone from Arthas, zoning from Proteus, zoning from Deathwing. Like, they're just gonna be able to let Zul'jin attack from range. But I want to point out here, Greymane, Li Ming, such a dynamic duo. You also have Ana in there for the Nano Burst into Li Ming, or even on Greymane just for the cooldown reduction, so you can just be more aggressive with your basic abilities. But this will be a variant to probably lock down Proteus so they can get a little extra blow up, or for the armor reduction with the Colossal Smash. It's either or. Like, Taunt, I believe, won't work on Deathwing, but armor reduction will. So Colossal Smash wouldn't be a bad idea here, and that might be the opening. You know, you Colossal Smash, Greymane dives in with variants, so you have that kind of duo, and then you have Li Ming trying to capitalize on a reset, and then Ana's in range with Sleep Darts, with healing darts from range. Overall, I kind of am leaning into BigScary's Duck's composition. While it is very, you know, synergistic core, very just meta, and it's gonna piggyback off itself, I do want to point out that Tatski's Frenzy does have the more fun draft here. I'll be blunt with that one. Proteus, Zul'jin, come on. That's so much more fun.
It's so good. And, like, I wonder if this is a strategy. So hear me out. Like,
okay.
Deathwing, because he's so big, and, like, because there are times that you just don't see other heroes on the map because he is just on top of them. And so I wonder if that's going to develop as a strategy with teams that Deathwing in the future, to say, I'm just going to take up so much room that you can't find the rest of the team. You know, like it sounds a little weird, but like this Proteus is also not going to know where they are in the map. They're going to be like, wait, where am I? I can't see myself. So let's see how that plays out.
Well, we'll have to see if the members of Tatski's Frenzy are going to be able to bring it back in this, or excuse me, continue with their reign in this game number 2. Tatski on the Arthas. Alex Did's going to be on the Deathwing. You currently have AdMac hiding underneath Deathwing, as you can see right there. We have Locke on the Stukov, and Sarah Orion will be on the Zul'jin.
And over in the red, we have BigScary's Duck. Fluffy will be on the Varian. Bimpy on the Johanna. Tilted Sister will be playing Li Ming. Big Scary Duck on Ana. And Coffee on Greymane.
This mid-game engagement, like around 10 talent here, is going to be the big defining factor for me. We currently have Alex Did, I believe, swapping into a different form onto Deathwing. Which form I don't know yet. I haven't been able to cast it enough, but just the zoning potential coming up from Deathwing overall, as well, as something that I'm really excited to see, because that was the one thing that a lot of conversations like hinged around was what maps he has value on, and maps like this where it's point control based, I think this is really, really good for them. Also, their wave clear is pretty decent, and with the Zul'jin as well, I think this will be a great rotation between top and mid. They might actually just leave Stukov Proteus to handle that, while the Arthas might get ganked in bottom lane. Cat Peach.
Oh, Tatski trying to run away, but as we know with Arthas, once you're in, it's kind of hard to get out, but so far they are able to run away. Damage not coming in time from BigScary's Ducks, and Locke is here just in case Tatski needs the support.
I also want to point out the Zul'jin went into Headhunter at level 1, so they're banking on getting every single one of those kills. Now you get 2% per kill, and that comes in per kill that you get, obviously, and it's only one stack of that 2% per actual kill. I'm saying this so backwards. Either way, you have to kill everyone once. I'm doing great right now. You have to kill everyone once, and you get 2% per hero killed, and then once you finish that out, you get the 1.1 range increase. And that's the big thing from it, is because you can stand so much further back and you can really play in that lower health pool margin within Zul'jin, and also you get the 1.1 range increase off of the halfway stacks, which is 15. So you have 2.2 range increase overall. That is really, really far for Zul'jin, and then they can just play with no health the entire time and just shred the enemy team. Regardless, too long of an explanation through. We continue to go into rotations. 4 talent tiers is going to be right in the corner for both, and we are going to be having our first objective pop up at the 3-minute mark, so we got about 20 seconds until that one will be announced, while another rotation into bottom lane is they're trying to just force back Tatski consistently, and it seems to be working, but she's not missing out on too much experience.
Yeah, both in top and bottom lane seems to be a similar picture, but just reversed for the teams, where it seems like both teams are pushing pretty far forward into the enemy's gate, but it's not so much of a catastrophe. I mean, it makes it that much easier with the XP globe change now, just to say, all right, I'll let the towers help kill, I'll be in a safe range to get those globes and not have to worry. Sarah Ryan, though, slept. Damage going out. Can the kill get there? Coffee trying to get the damage out. Cocktail doesn't connect. Sarah going to live another day here.
Deathwing takes flight, gets that healing back up for themselves as they prepare for the control point. Speaking of controlling for the control point, or preparing for the control point, we have Twin Blades Varian. So not what we were thinking whatsoever, but it's just more damage. And I guess into a Deathwing, damage is always good, but we'll see how that works out for them. Also, Capeach, I mean, you are the Probius. Oh, hold on. Tatski taking a lot of damage here, is trying to make their way out. Greymane trying to get that shred, but the Frozen Tempest was getting a lot of value. Unfortunately, it won't be enough. And this is Alex Did just backing up. But looking at this Probius build and how they're playing, any initial thoughts on this? I mean, it's like when I see Asmodee, it's just like, oh, I have 500 things to say. Anything that sticks out to you from this so far?
So I'm not the biggest fan of turbocharged. Personally, I like to take the shields at level 4. Just a little bit more. Yeah, he's soft. Oh, Deathwing. Oh, coffee. Oh, no.
Was it worth it?
Catastrophe strikes the BigScary's ducks. Terrible. But coming back, so we only have 1 stack on the Warp Rift, which is, or Warp Resonance, sorry, which is a bit unfortunate, but now that we're in the objective phase, great opportunity to start stacking that up for sure. I would have liked to see AdMech maybe set up around this point a little bit sooner, but they were trying to assist more in lane right before this objective. So now you can see they're getting those turrets out, they're getting the pylons set up. Sarah Orion taking a lot of damage yet again. Fluffy trying to go in for the kill. The Variant going to fall instead.
That Variant kill actually gives the stack over to Zul'jin, so they do have that 1 stack, so it's going to be a little extra damage for themselves and slowly getting closer and closer to that range increase. Li Ming trying to poke from a distance, but this will be control point going over to the members of Tatski's Frenzy.
Sorry.
Zul'jin, yes?
How did Alex fit in that gate? It's like a Probius size big, and he just snuck through.
Oh, are you talking about this one over here?
He fit in there. That's not fair.
Sometimes he can be a small boy when he needs to.
Is he like a cat where it's like there's so much fluff that it's not he's not as like big as you think? Like maybe it's all just
armor plating. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just the armor plating, and when you squeeze him, he just gets real skinny. He's a skinny boy at heart. Yes. Ugh, okay.
They have a dive coming in from this Joanna who's trying to push into the enemy team. So far, Tatski taking a lot of damage. Sarah dumping in the damage as well, trying to stack up that baseline quest. Overtime for both teams at 99%. Deathwing is going to be flying through with the Cataclysm into the enemy team. They find themselves an Arthas kill on the opposing side, but Fluffy is going to be staying alive, actually. Greymane goes down to the left-hand side, so it's a 1-for-1 trade thus far in this fight. That also is another stack for the Zul'jin. Arthas will be the one down on the left-hand side for them, but they zone them away for now, and that will be no way. Deathwing somehow fits in the Triglav Protector. Can we talk about this right now?
All right, headcanon right now. Let's run with this. Deathwing.
Okay.
So Stukov entered. I know this is not how it happened, but this is how it's gonna happen in my fanfic.
Okay.
Stukov enters the Triglav Protector. He's sitting there. He's like, all right, waiting for my pilot. All of a sudden, the cabin just fills with ash and smoke and armor, and Deathwing just is in there, and he's taking up every nook and cranny of space in that mech. And Stukov is just sitting there like, oh no.
Can we just
stuck. If I need to go to the bathroom, I can't move.
Do you also picture Stukov just like pushed up against the window? Like absolutely just smushed. Toss Dingo gonna be used from the Zul'jin. They actually step forward thinking they're gonna get a kill. Unfortunately, they get killed right there as Coffee doesn't go down. Not actually able to get out of there as they end up getting sniped by the gunner seat. Triglav Protector still with 50-some% and a couple seconds left. They're gonna take out this front gate, but they don't get the well, as typically that's what you want to grab from this first Triglav Protector. But overall, I think they got quite a bit of value as they're gonna be able to, they should be able to disengage from this. They do have that Stunning Stomp we'll go with, because I don't know his abilities just yet, and they disengage. Meanwhile, Tatski in bottom lane just free pushing.
Tatski's playing her own. She's playing the Arthas, or she's playing the Deathwing game, but with Arthas. She's just like, I'm gonna do my own thing, and you guys can do something else. But from 3 sides coming in. There's the orb. There is Li Ming with the disintegrate. The arrows go out. Locke trying to use the flailing swipe, but it's too late. Yet again, we see Arthas fall.
Do you notice something weird about Arthas here? How they didn't have any sort of like army of the dead pop up around them? It's almost like there's a dragon on their team, so they're like, I'll be respectful and also play my dragon talent.
Like if there's a dragon on the other side, you have to like also dragon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a respect thing. to be like, you showed me your dragon, I will show you mine.
I wonder if BigScary's Ducks will lose this game because they don't have a Hanzo. They don't have a dragon to match the dragon.
That's unfortunate.
Eesh.
Uh-oh. Bimpy coming around the other side.
Look at that cursed bullet damage. Holy crap. Did you see that?
It does so much damage. That was a really nice land there from Coffee. Now trying to go in on the Tatski. There's the stun. Deathwing taking flight, trying to regen that armor while the rest of this fight does go on. Dropping the meteors. There comes oh my god, Sindragosa. Bimpy getting caught. Alex Did's landing on him, but Johanna is unstoppable and also has the beefy health pool, so she is alive for now until later when she might die. You don't know.
Pylon Overcharge is going to be used by the Probius. I think this is more a zoning tool than anything else. I was thinking they're going to try and grab that fort through top lane, but because the Sindragosa value was still up and available. Seems like though. No, they're not going to play too aggressive. They're going to back off, look for 13 talent tier. They could rotate to bottom lane and grab some experience down there. Something that I've been forgetting to do is cycle through some of the other numbers because, well, I forgot to do it. But we can get an idea of what this look like now as we get prepared for Control Point B, which actually shouldn't be too far off. We had an engagement for quite some time. I think we should be some around the 10-minute mark, which should allow both teams to be able to get their 13 talent tier and be ready on an even talent tier for the next big team fight. But Deathwing actually going to be in the solo lane right now. I wonder if Alex actually got hit with another curse ball because they have so much damage in their actual health pool and currently going to take flight to get their armor back. They did tap well, so they do have that healing coming in, but now they need to, you see them, they actually want to jump in on this top point and join the friendly team. We'll see what happens here, Cat Peach.
Deathwing coming back in immediately. That armor already regenerated. Them goes out. Johanna trying to back off, and they're just going to give over the support camp, it seems like, unless they can get a pick. But even then, Deathwing taking up so much room up on the support camp that it's hard to even get through. Tilted's sister trying to get the kill on Tatski through the wall, but it is just not meant to be. So another item in the stats on the side of Tatski's Frenzy going into Control Point B.
Can we talk about the irony of a hero that can't get healed from an item that's currently holding the healing item?
Can Deathwing get healed from
I don't think the healing item works.
I'm unsure.
I am too. Like I honest to God thought it was only the well and regeneration globes, and when you're flying, I didn't think that it was the actual item. But we'll find out here as we have another fight progress or starting out on this control point. Seems like they're going to be able to force them back for now, but they're stepping up right now, Cat Peach, and they're looking. That's a huge curse bullet to start this out.
Yeah, there goes the Q, but here comes the Cataclysm onto the members of BigScary's Ducks. The Fear comes out as well on top of it, so Coffee running away, scared with the tail between his legs. Alex Zid's trying to get the flame damage in, trying to see what he can proc. So far, no one has fallen quite yet, except for Arthas, who immediately goes down, and this is the opportunity for BigScary's Ducks to go in and try to recontrol this control point.
And they are going to be able to get this variant and also that nano boost onto the Li Meng. Just the aggression coming out from our red team right now, able to find that kill, but they do control the point, and this will be charged in their favor. 14 seconds on Arthas, so I think realistically they just back off, reset, and they should be able to fight over this once again. It's not going to be a free Trigla protector just yet over the members of BigScary's Duck. They have to defend at least one more time over this point, and yeah, you can already see them. They're rotating out. I think are they gonna try and grab? No, they're just grabbing the fortification camp before the Arthas is back up. Okay, this makes sense, but they gotta go real quick here.
Yeah, they need to grab this as soon as possible. I'm still keeping an eye on Probius talents, and so far, 9 on the Warp Resonance, which I feel like with an objective where the entire team is grouped onto it is a little unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie. It's interesting that the shield battery is also there, because I feel like there hasn't been a huge problem in keeping Tatski's Frenzy alive. I would have liked to see the attack damage come through just to boost the other members and also to boost Probius so they're doing way more damage. Lock coming in, there's the flailing swipe, gets blinded by Johanna. Bimpy now running away on the treadmill. Protection is out from Varying. Condemn coming out. Oh, Tatski! Gonna go down, but Fluffy gonna hit by the pylon overcharge, and the members of BigScary's Ducks trying to run away, but Coffee does go down with the last hit from Zul'jin.
Cataclysm coming in, they dive onto a couple members. Big Scary Duck and friends are realizing, well, this is a very far forward Deathwing, and they find a kill onto them, and now with 2 dead on the opposing side, they could look to step back onto this, especially with a Twin Blades variant. You don't have an Arthas with the Frozen Tempest to slow down their auto attack speed, and they're going to be focusing onto the Zul Jin, who does only have 2 stacks on the Headhunter from level 1, so still need to find their way through that one. Nanoboost going onto Tilted Sister, who does throw out one ability, actually connects onto the pylon, and I think they're going to try and step forward, throw a little bit more out, but they're not going to find a kill. Charge goes back over the members of BigScary's Ducks, and they will find a second Triglav Protector, first one for them, as Sarah steps forward trying to throw a little damage onto this, but that was a little risky.
that was some big boy attitude right there, coming out trying to see what they can do against the Johanna and the Triglav before anyone's even in it. So now, what do you do at this point? Bottom lane is really pushed out in favor of Tatski's Frenzy, and I know that the next objective will be on bottom. Pushing without the wave is just going to take a lot of free damage, though, but it looks like they're going to go in and risk it. They're going to disable the tower, see if they can get that down first, and then do as much work as quickly as possible with that Greymane on the rest of these structures. But the Sindragosa comes out. Big Scary Duck on the backside taking a ton of damage, and the Ana gets sniped.
Coffee gonna dive in onto Locke, who does have the flailing swipe back. This is gonna be Triglav Protector dealing a lot of damage onto them. Coffee's still looking for Locke right now, but it might be a futile effort as they end up getting picked off by the Arthas, the Triglav Protector. Oh no, Locke walks right into the laser from the Triglav Protector, so they do end up going down. Johanna and Varian are the 2 main heroes in this as the Triglav Protector goes down. They are looking for some way, somehow to slow them down. Cataclysm to put them right behind them, but they have nothing to chase into this, I don't think. And they could try and push out the wave, but this is a bit risky, Cat Peach.
It's a bit risky. 2 members down, though, so you have a little bit of time. You might be able to at least get down one of those towers, but looks like the team gonna focus on this fortification. Can't take that item away. Proteus! No! Why, my son?
Varian?
It's like if you kill Baby Yoda. Like, that's how sad I am right now.
Oh no.
Like, how could you?
During all that, I do want to point out that Zul'jin did finish out the You Want Axe baseline quest, but now we have another fight continuing to break out here as Tatski's going to be on the point, taking a lot of damage initially. This will be the Stukov stepping in. We do have the Banner of Ironforge out from the Arthas as well, as this is a lot of damage on Alex Diz, but now they turn this around, they get the big old chomp onto them, and they find themselves a kill into Varian. 3 stacks out of the 5 for the Headhunter for the Zul'jin. Who are they missing currently? Can we find this out? Let me.
You might be able to. I'm afraid of hit buttons.
Oh, understandable. No, mine doesn't want to tell me. It just says unique heroes to kill. Blank. All right. So
some heroes.
Let's see. Really quickly. Let's just look at stats.
Johanna has not died, and Li Ming has not died.
That would make sense.
Nice job.
We did it, team.
A+.
We currently have Alex jumping onto the point as they steal this away. Another Sindragosa coming on through. I believe they steal away the Biotic Emitter, but they use the Cataclysm to dive out here. Alex taking quite a bit of damage. I don't know. Okay, they make it out, but that was a very risky play just to potentially get a kill. I didn't think that they were going to be looking for or even reaching a kill within that engagement.
I mean, the last engagement on that point went really well for Tatski's Frenzy, so I was wondering if they were just like, oh yeah, we did it once, we could do it again, you know, but not working out so well now that we're a little bit later in the game and have learned some lessons. Look at the Wildberry Pop-Tart skin. It's just, it looks so good. Cyberpunk Proteus.
I gotta say,
he would be Cyberpunk.
Of course. Wait, Fluffy gonna dive in here onto Locke. They currently have Deathwing, I think, waiting to actually fall from the sky. I believe there's a little bit of a cooldown when they go into that flight form. Sarah taking quite a bit of damage. Control point C is up and available. We already have the Proteus grabbing that top lane camp. Fluffy gonna be coming up here to clear that out. And this mid lane getting pushed back a little bit. But I don't think... Oh, this is really risky. Actually, Deathwing dropped down in bottom lane, and they did show, and Tatski ends up going down. Locke is going to try and capitalize for a second kill. They pop the Pustule, and this is going to be the Lurking Arm going out with a flailing swipe to disengage. So they only lose Tatski. Deathwing was rotating up, but then ends up deciding to go back down to bottom lane, but this is going to be them versus Greymane, and Greymane, with that Cursed Bullet, 40% of the current health pool. That's a lot of damage. Deathwing currently is 6,700, so 40% of that one. Whew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was hoping that maybe the rotation from BigScary's Ducks would be fast enough to capitalize on Deathwing heading down to the objective, but they kind of helped clear in mid a little bit longer, so now he's able to regain camaraderie with the rest of the team. But still with that, the Arthas, this is sitting really well for BigScary's Ducks. If they can, you know, it's hard to figure out who you should focus when you have a team with Deathwing. Do you focus the Deathwing or do you focus the Proteus? Coffee is so brutal, diving right in there. So it's now a 3v5 in favor of BigScary's Ducks. So this is looking so well for them right now. They might be able to get yet another Triglav Protector in their favor, get some more structures down, and really start to push with this level 20 lead that they currently have for a little while longer.
And we'll see what that level 20 looks like in just a moment. We're going to cycle through more talents and more stats to find out what those have been since we last looked around level 10. Currently have a top lane push coming through with this catapult, and this is just naturally going to win out. So I'm wondering, like, how quickly they're going to be playing this bottom lane. Will they let top lane stack a little bit further? Because there's a second catapult coming through, and that stacked up, as noted before, it sieges very, very quickly. And speaking of siege very quickly, we are control point C Triglav, 18 minutes into this game, and they just shredded through that fort with only taking about like 15 or so % in the damage range, and they also have some poke from the enemy side. Proteus up in 3 seconds. They're actually going to rotate into mid lane. I think they're just going to try and capitalize on the map pressure. They're not going to be going for a keep here, and we might be seeing a fourth Triglav Protector based on how they're playing this. The other thing to note too is going to be, since they're not ending, you know, instantaneously or anything like that, this does give them that 20 talent tier range to bring it back, as Sarah's going to be trying to throw out some damage. 52 stacks on the Zul'jin. Their base attack is 273 currently, but Deathwing rotating it. Oh my god!
Just got annihilated from the map, and the Cursed Burlet connects on the Deathwing, nearly taking out half their health. Running away. There goes the expiration on the Triglav Protector. But I like the fact that they, you know, I don't think that was endgame. I think had you pushed into the core, that Triglav would have fallen much more quickly, and then you're left on your enemy's core with the Deathwing, which is really scary of a situation to be in. So you open up the map, you get that vision, you say, this will likely push out to the next objective, so let's try to make this as best in our favor as possible. There goes Arthas falling as BigScary's Ducks goes in, trying to get the siege camp stolen, but it did go over to the side of Tatski's Frenzy before the Arthas kill.
Chat is saying it now, and I'll say it as well. Tilted Sister on this Li Ming is busted strong. Like, I've got the siege and heroic damage up currently, 96,000 rounding up on the heroic damage. The closest on the enemy side is 79,000.
I'm telling you, people sleep on Seeker, but Seeker build Li Ming is money. If you can land those shots, like all 3 missiles on a single target consistently, they just go away. They just dissolve. It's amazing.
I mean,
so,
Stukov and Arthas just got to experience that recently, and
firsthand.
Ooh, that they just absolutely terrifying. But we do have 20 talent tiers that rotate through.
Hard push top.
Upgrade on the Twin Blades for Varian. Frenzy. Ironically enough, the Ducks are picking up a Frenzy-based talent here as Sindragosa coming through. This is the upgrade, so it travels further, and I believe it also roots the players that travels in. Deathwing drops down, Flailing Swipe to keep them from disengaging. There was a bit of a dive from Alex. Oh, a huge bellowing roar coming out from Alex did just to force them back once again. Huge Cataclysm coming through as well. They're just looking to capitalize on some of these kills. Coffee goes down. Fluffy in the back lane, a little bit too low. And have the members of Tatski's Frenzy brought it back, Peach? They can rush bottom and take a keep.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they're gonna focus on just that, unless they take the same strategy of just clearing the forts. But they do have bottom lane already kind of pushed out already. Looking around, what are timers on these camps? You have a minute on the fortification, you have 2 minutes on the siege, so they can't really steal any camps. They could very easily take their own fortification camp, but that's not really the best use of time here. But they're gonna focus pushing in through mid. Again, you have control point A spawning up, so pushing through here just makes it that much easier if you already get that. If you do get that Triglav Protector, you just push through.
Stukov's Proteus.
Bye, Proteus. In a
Zul'jin.
Tilted Sister, hello.
Let's
Seeker,
just can we just check their damage really quickly? Oh, okay, just a casual 121,000.
Sorry, I'm gonna watch the delay replay on that because, yep, Seeker goes out, Disintegrate, or go out, and you're done. You're done.
Tilted Sister.
Tilted Sister also has the virus.
Yeah,
with the keyboard.
Just a weird bug this evening. I don't know what's going on, but either way, we are going to be seeing our 4th Triglav Protector of the game going to be popping up here. This is going to be a control point, or not even a control point. This is going to be a fortification camp being contested. Li Ming with the cursed bullet coming through. Alex did so very low. They end up backing out. They give the camp over. This will be top lane pressure mounted in favor for Tatski's Frenzy. Same thing in bottom lane, but this is a 4th Triglav Protector of the game. We are 23 minutes in here, Cat Peach. If they're able to grab this and they walk through top lane, this is... I wouldn't say it's game, but it's definitely going to be a very, very hard defense for the members of Tatski's Frenzy. This thing is going to hurt, and it's going to siege insanely well.
Yeah, Frenzy will be entirely up at that point, which is, you know, the other scary factor to consider. And the fact that BigScary's Ducks is trying to push into here preemptively. They have 2 rooted by the Sindragosa. The Cataclysm is coming out. Damage going on to Coffee. They're trying to retreat as quickly as possible. While the Triglav is grabbed, Bimpy going to jump in the root onto Coffee. I don't know if Gravy is going to get out of this alive. The Triglav tries, and he gets in just in time to survive. Yes!
Big Scary Duck very low as Alex is looking for the kill onto the on the right hand side, but we have the Stukov going down, so it's going to be healers traded out. Definitely going to be making a long rotation, maybe even just sieging into bottom as Sarah puts the juke on. Hello, Sarah just made it out just fine. No one able to find them, but Tatski might have just sacrificed themselves. Unless Coffee, do you have a cocktail through the gate? Is there Seeker? Oh, there's the. Coffee had the cocktail through the gate. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Deathwing's just like, I'll just go free siege, whatever, that's fine. Maybe I'll force back the enemy team.
Who races better?
Deathwing or the entire
alive team, or one breathy fire boy?
That also, it might have been also just to get the reset on Cataclysm, because the fort going down, I believe, gives the reset on it, or maybe. No, I think it should be the reset on it. Either way, Triglav Protector coming in. They did Hearth, or no, they went into the flight form, so they can drop down. Gonna be here for the defense, core falling Cat Peach, but I feel like they're zoning out the enemy team fairly effective, especially Coffee getting zoned away.
And Alex Diz on the backside is just waiting to capitalize, but I do think this core falls, so we now have a 1-1 series here between Tatski's Frenzy and BigScary's Ducks. GG, look at all the bolts. Imagine you break open a core and there's just a bunch of screws and bolts in it, and you're like, this is my prize?
I thought there was supposed to be gold in here.
No, the treasure goblin really lied to me on this one, guys. Those stats, though.
Oh, just a casual, yeah, Li Ming.
130,000 attack damage.
150.
Not dying. Headhunter never completed either, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That was a great series.
That was a really, really good game number 2. But I hope you all know that is not it for this evening. This is a best of 5 series, so we could be going to a game 5. With that being a best of 5 series, we are going to take a short 1 to 2 minute break. We're going to run to the bathroom. We're going to get ourselves more cocktails, and then we're going to get ourselves set up for the next game. So we'll throw it over to Bandit Cam. Now's the best time to run and get yourself a drink, and we'll be right back with more Heroes of the Storm action. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll see you all very, very soon. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready for game number 3. Yes, you heard it right. Game number 3, and oh my god, Zanehyde, as we literally get back in. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everyone, from Zanehyde's stream. We are currently in a best of 5 series between the members of Tatski's Frenzy and BigScary's Ducks. This is a community league matchup, and by that, it means that there's no points, there's no money on the line, it's just bragging rights, and we just wanted to call it something rather than, well, Tatski versus Big Scary Duck. So we'll make up a league, and that's what it's going to be. But this is a best of 5 series. We're currently testing this to see if it's something we can do a little more often. Me personally, I'm having a blast with this. I hope these teams are having fun with this as well. And just to update you, if you are joining us from Zanehyde's stream, the way this series works, it's a best of 5. There are only 3 map bans. Volskaya and Cursed Hollow sandbox versions are going to be banned out, as well as the ARAM map is banned out. So everything is up and available. Currently, we've only gone to Volskaya and Dragonshire, and we haven't set ourselves up for one of those odd maps like, you know, Haunted Mines, Blackheart's Bay, Warhead Junction. So we could be seeing those pop up, or these teams could just play it safe, not go to anything too out of the ordinary, and just give us some oddities. But speaking of oddities, we did just get a Deathwing game, and Cat Peach, how are you feeling about that Deathwing game?
Toasty. There's fire everywhere. It was. I mean, Alex Dids played a great Deathwing. Like, there were so many great Cataclysm plays. Just the zoning potential that we did see, and we talked about it in draft on Volskaya, panned out exactly as we thought it would. And a lot of those Triglovs did go over to the side of Tatski's Frenzy early game. Really strong. And I think once, you know, Coffee kind of got warmed up, and once we saw that Li Ming build really get online, everyone else kind of around the team, or around Deathwing got deleted, which is one of those things. And I was talking about this, I don't know if it was with you or with someone else, the way of approaching fighting a Deathwing team is like, I kind of consider it very similar to fighting someone who drafted Cho'Gall, which is you have to decide if you're focusing Cho'Gall or if you're focusing everyone else. And I think a lot of teams still get really split on one or the other. And you kind of see a spread of where the focus is. And so whoever is facing Deathwing needs to decide, like, are we going full in on trying to demolish this Deathwing and get him out of the fight as soon as possible? Or do we try to just melt everyone else around him so he is scared to go in because he has no backup?
That's a good point. Like, I think Coffee did an amazing job of constantly splitting Deathwing from the friendly team and having them 1v1 the Greymane. Like, Alex and Coffee just kind of had this 1v1 thing, and then Tilt's sister was like, cool, no big boy? All right. Goodbye. Like, just that Seeker Missile moment. Like, if it wasn't clipped, like, I'm gonna go back and clip that, because that is just absolutely wild how insanely strong that entire moment was, in just being able to constantly just throw out a combo, reset, throw out a combo, reset. Okay, cool, 3 are dead, let's just regain control that we were kind of behind on. Yeah,
and we've seen, you know, the target bans on Coffee a lot so far this series. If this is not a Li Ming ban in the first phase, I don't think Tatski's Frenzy has learned much and are going to suffer the consequences yet again.
Or may I just say this? They're sandbagging us a little bit. They're like, all right, game 1 in the bags, easy GG. We're gonna try and sandbag for a couple games and go to that game 5. Make the members of Big Scary's Ducks feel like they have a winning chance. But let's go ahead and actually get on into our draft, because I'm sure you're all wondering what map it's going to be, and it will be Cursed Hollow. For anyone that's wondering, there are no map bans. We already saw Dragonshire picked up by Big Scary's Ducks for game number 1. They lost that. Map number 2 was actually chosen by Big Scary's Ducks as well, and that was Volskaya, and they won that one. So it's 1-1 on both sides, and we have Cursed Hollow as the map choice of Tatski's Frenzy, giving first pick, first ban over to the side of Big Scary's Ducks. I mean, as we progress into this, Cat Peach, is it really no Li Ming ban? A Gaslow again? I was gonna say, do you think we start to see, like, you know, like, always a Kel'Thuzad, always a Li Ming on one side? Like, do you think we're gonna get like this? These players are just like, all right, we're gonna only take away Coffee's and Did's players, or maybe even Tilted Sisters players. Like, I'm just curious to see how this is gonna progress through our best of 5 series.
Yeah, it's hard to say, because I feel like there are certain players on both sides that have those identifiable hero pools to really isolate on. I think it's hard to ban out Alex. Specifically, just he does kind of play everything, and does it, you know, pretty well. He's a very high-ranked player, always
Like
has
him
been. Coached a dorm team. Like,
him and
you know,
Coffee were like, they're like they play roughly every day. They've got to be like mildly okay, right?
Mm-hmm. Coffee, you know, he does kind of go to that Kel'Thuzad. He goes to that Alarak. He has been expanding his hero pool a little bit, but it is something that it's not really all that large, which is why you see, I mean, when we did Heroes Hearth Fight Night, it's why we constantly saw the same targets against him, and where we're seeing the same targets against him now, is that it is comparably, I think, compared to some other players, a kind of small hero pool, but it doesn't mean he can't perform on the things that you don't ban out. Like we saw the Kira, he did pretty well on the Kira, and we saw the Greymane, he did pretty good on the Greymane. So I don't think it puts him in a really terrible spot to have those go-tos banned out on him.
No, I think overall, like jokes aside, there's a lot of really, really talented players on both these sides. We've seen amazing moments from both sides and from specifically every single player. I would say, just even like backing up to like Tatski's 1v3 to defend and just slow down the enemy team from getting into the Dragon Knight in game number 1. That like moments like that, those are really, really difficult to play, and they played it really well. And you could say that for almost any player on both sides. Zuramag, thank you so much for the raid as we get into this. Welcome everyone thank you so much for all the raids this evening. I know we haven't been interacting with chat much. There's just a lot of good action happening in front of us, but thank you all so much for being here. We really, really do appreciate the support. And once again, thank you to Zanehyde, Zuramag, as well as everyone, Heroes Lounge, Coffee, Tatski, just Tilted Sister. Thank you so much for the raids. Welcome to everyone from those streams. We are doing a fun best of 5 series between a lot of community members. This is just, there's no stakes. This is just for fun. This is where people can come and meme, and that's the reason we're doing this, is because when you put money on the line, people start to try hard. When you make it about jokes and memes, they try hard, but they pick the wrong Brightwing skin. Can we talk about, like, we don't need to talk about this series or what's happening or why people should stay on the stream, but let's talk about why that Brightwing skin should not exist.
That Brightwing skin, to me, is what Ginger Dread Nazebo is to Halloran.
Yes, same. Like, I actually said that to him when we were casting Dorm in the fall, and he's like, really? And I was like, I hate it. And he's just like, I mean, I get it, but like, he's like, that's the one that bothers you? And I was just like, well, yeah, of course. Like, it's I don't know, it's such a creepy skin. Either way, back into our draft. We have Joanna Li Ming Brightwing on the right-hand side. Tilted Sister gonna be just playing that Li Ming here. And on a poke-based map, and how well we saw them play it the last game, I'd be a little nervous for Tatski's Frenzy, I'm not gonna lie. But, Cat Peach, are we getting a washing machine potentially?
You know, I would love it. I don't know who would play Chen on the side of Tatski's Frenzy. Might be something that Admech or Alex might be able to play. I don't know how much Chen Tatski has.
I don't know either. I watch her quite often. I don't think I ever see her play Chen. It's like Varian, Kael'thas, Diablo, Brightwing, Jaina. She's got a good core group of heroes, but yeah, this is definitely not going to be a washing machine Chen as we get ourselves.
You don't know. There's one panda, you might get two. Okay.
You know what? You know what? That's very fair. That's very fair. That is very fair. But also to speak to Tatski, she also does play a very good Lily as well, but they're picking up these blinds, and there's not a ton of blinds on the opposing side. I feel like they might be able to sidestep a lot of those. Like they could look at like a Kira here who yeah, she does auto attack damage, but she also has a lot of ability damage on top of that with that bleed. So I think that actually might be a good way to mitigate it. But actually no, they go into Thrall and Zeratul, so some mitigation will be done. Oh my god, thank you for the 2 gifted subs. Zybachan, I believe it is. I'm going to destroy names. Rogue Traits and Turd Herder, enjoy your gifted subs, enjoy your Asmopogs, your Finger Guns, and your Baja Rages. Deathwing, though, rounds us out once again. Cat Peach, how are you feeling about this after seeing it in game number 2?
Well, with the Zeratul pickup, I believe Deathwing still gets caught in Void Prison.
It's stopped.
Much like all vehicles do.
Stops do affect them.
Yep. Stop the unstoppable. say that 5 times fast.
Stop the unstoppable.
So it'll be interesting to see how that specifically pans out. If Coffee can make those plays that maybe isolate the Deathwing, we see Li Ming just melt everyone else, and then Deathwing is like, oh no, I'm by myself. Oh.
But here's actually...
but we don't see the percent-based damage on the side of BigScary's Ducks this time, which is a little concerning. concerning, but not the end of the world.
I'll say this, chat caught it before I could. No percentage-based damage. You had a last pick Deathwing. Exactly, yeah. This might be where Deathwing kind of has free reign. There's no cursed bullet to worry about. But hey, we'll see what happens here because we are ready to go in game number 3 of our best of 5 series. Alex going to be on the Deathwing. Admech is going to be on the Muradin. We have Tatski going to be on the Lily. Locke is going to be on the Sonya. And we have Sarah Orion on the Lunara.
And over in the red on Big Scary's Ducks, we have Fluffy on the Thrall. Big Scary Duck playing Brightwing. Tilted Sister on Li Ming. Bimpy on Johanna. And Coffee on Zeratul.
Let's go ahead and get into our mid lane and check out what's going to be some of our level 1 talents and what we're going to be seeing for our first engagement. We have Nature's Perspective from the Lunara. Deathwing actually going to be going into Draconic Might. Now, I don't know all the talents by heart yet, so this is a bit of an odd one for me because I don't feel like I've seen this one yet before from any Deathwing that I've casted. So we'll see how this works. Or no, excuse me, hold on. No, this is what we always see. Upon losing armor plate, Deathwing becomes protective. Okay, sorry. It's the icon. I'm just not used to it whatsoever. I was just like, wait a minute. No, I'm reading this. This is what every Deathwing takes because it's just that armor. Like when you lose a plate of armor to get a whole, like, almost second of protection, that burst potential is mitigated in a sense. And when you have a Zeratul who's going to be looking for said burst, that could work out for you pretty well. But seems like we're going to have a solo lane matchup between Coffee and Alex Dids, which this will be fun. We'll try and keep an eye on this one. Lunara getting free push currently in top lane as Li Ming will rotate up to there. And then we have a couple members partying out in mid lane. I gotta say, so far the setup for Cursed Hollow, I like this a lot for both sides, Cat Peach.
Yeah, I mean, it's early game. It's hard to see where things are going to kind of pan out on this stage when people are just trying to calmly soak, wait for those camps to come up, wait for that first objective to really hit. So while we have some wall time, I would love to go back to some of the questions I asked both these teams prior to this
Okay, no, I love these. I love these a lot.
So I had asked the teams, if your team was a taco, what taco would you be? And so on the side of Tatski's Frenzy, got the response of soft on the outside, but rugged and tough on the inside. You won't want to bite into this taco without reading the warning label first. We bleed nacho cheese. So I feel like we haven't seen that much cheese on the side of the Frenzy so far. So interesting that that's their perspective. But on the side of Big Scary's Ducks.
Yes.
Their response to what taco they would be a soft Wonder Bread exterior that is a few days stale, folded around multiple cuts of succulent, juicy, and overly seasoned shark meat, covered in mango, habanero corn salsa, and a dab of creme fraiche.
Can I back up? Wonder Bread tortillas?
You know, they are 5 ducks in a trench coat.
That is fair. That is fair.
Talked about earlier.
That is fair. So, okay, so I was just like, wait a minute, that's a new one for me. We're just rotating around the map, and actually, thank you for having all those, because I was just like, man, we're just having, it's currently just a lot of back and forth, no one really being too aggressive. Actually, speaking of aggression, looking at Locke in this top lane, gonna find the spear, but the Thrall was playing close to the front gate, and I like how they were playing this. They are gonna be losing a little out in the structure race. Also, this will be first objective in top lane, so this is perfect for Sarah and Locke to be able to push on in, and Fluffy, really low, does get the face shift from the Brightwing. Good call from Sarah to also move over to the well, trying to take that down before the objective. Yeah, but you have to back out here.
Coffee's looking for the kill onto Lunar. It doesn't. Oh, gets it, actually. Let me bite my tongue. The Contempt comes out. Coffee trying to escape. The damage still going out. Here comes Contempt number 2. Locke taking a lot of damage. There's no follow-up just yet, but with one member down on the side of Tatski's Frenzy, I think this is the first tribute going over to Big Scary's Ducks with the stale bread taco.
I think Alex Did was trying to rotate up quick enough, but they stayed down there a little too long trying to clear out that camp as well as the wave, so they're going to eat first objective. They do technically have the experience advantage due to the fact that they are still staying down here. They're soaking out lanes, and they did lose one, but what? The early game experience currently is looking at about 600 for the first kill, a decent amount. But when we're looking at mercenaries, minions, we're looking at like a 2k buff in favor for Tatski's Frenzy. So minion experience, while it is your main core and everything like that, you can have some of that supplemental coming in from camps as well as just from some of those kills. But early game wise, it's just minion focus, in my opinion, is the mainstay. Once you get into that 10 range, you really start to get some, maybe even 7 range, you really start to get some of that valuable experience from getting kills, as well as those camps really start to buff out your team. But Locke did get kind of walked around here. Brightwing got picked off in the mid lane by Lunar. I missed that rotation coming out from the member members of Tatski's Frenzy, but they're going to open this up a little bit further. And with this Lunara, Catpeach, they're sieging so effectively. They went into Nature's Calling at level 4, and that's helping them tremendously within the siege.
Yeah, being able to just buff that damage against, structures and minions and things like that just allows you to siege that much quicker. And with a team, sure, Deathwing can siege. It's slow siege, and you have to make sure they have, the energy or whatever it is to perform said siege. But Lunara, you throw out a bunch of, flowers on the ground that poison everything around you, and suddenly everything's just melting. So I think that's a really great pickup. I was kind of worried about the siege damage on their team going into this match. But, picks like that and seeing that play out just really proves that Tatski's Frenzy, they know what they're doing, they have a plan, and it's playing out pretty well for them so far as they're about to hit level 9.
It was an odd play from Coffee right there. I don't know if they were trying to bait out the abilities from Tatski's Frenzy, but they were playing in the vision, so they had clear sight of Coffee. While they were in their invisible form, you had to use ability damage to get it, but I think they were just trying to bait out like a spear from Sony, but that was really risky because there was a Murden right around the corner as well. Sarah in a bit of a rough spot. They don't have any sort of leaping strike to get in a better position as Coffee dives out. Cleanse comes out from Lily, just making sure that there isn't sort of any follow-up into them or any sort of slow, so they are able to just save their Lunar for now. Coffee getting a Hearth out of here as they also did get the phase shift in from Big Scary Duck. That's actually a great duo. That's a great combo right there because you do buff out the Zeratul immediately, so all they get is they get that immediate, they Hearth back, they get the big buff and health when you Hearth, because you actually used to see a lot of heroes Hearth back with like minimal health and then re-Hearth in the Hall of Storms. That was taken away a while ago, but that was the reason that you saw Big Scary Duck phase shift on top of Coffee, because that allows them to get into bottom lane faster, and they're missing 0 experience. They would have missed an entire wave roughly from Alex did pushing this up with the Deathwing. So it's little plays like that make massive differences in a game like this. But jumping back into top lane, Catpeach, they have Siege Giants pushing in, and they're trying to push this up, but there's 3 members on the opposing side, and Tributes in the bottom lane. This might be a bit of a delay from Big Scary's Ducks.
I'd be happy with them conceding this point, and rather than try to fight without heroics, make sure you confirm, make sure you're going to be in a little bit of a tough spot. You have to get the next tribute just to not get cursed on your side, but they're going to play it safe. They're not going to rush in and say, yeah, we can stall until we get level 10, because a lot of times when that happens, especially when you have teams that maybe don't play together a lot, or these teams, although certain folks play together a lot as a unit, they're all pretty new to each other, and so it's hard to say what does hooking out an objective really mean in the long term. And so sometimes you have that one person that just steps a little bit too far, and suddenly you have someone on your team dead. So I like the call to play it safe, get 10 at the next tribute, you have a fair fight, and at the same time, Big Scary's Ducks able to push out the lanes a little bit further and make things a little bit more comfortable in terms of map presence for them.
Alex in this bottom lane, Bellowing Roar coming out onto the Zeratul. They're trying to keep them from getting that. Oh, I was there just to get the warp right out of there, but Coffee's still staying. Yeah, I was like, Coffee, are you staying down here? This is risky.
That's a really long cooldown.
Cataclysm? Really?
Kata goes out.
Wait.
Wants his kill. He wants it.
Fire Breath, but they're playing by the side. They have all the ability damage, takes forever to cast, and they can't do anything, and they just keep sidestepping it. It's a 1.5 cast time for just about anything that Deathwing does, and that was just perfectly played by Coffee right there. Oh my god, but they're over here. They're now trying to poke out in. That's going to be the Jugs out from Tatski. They drop back down in that Deathwing main form, and they're going to try and put some pressure onto Big Scary Duck. Zeratul just getting back, but that's going to be one going down. Bippy very low, and that's going to be another, as well as the Brightwing somewhere in there went out. 3 for none, and that's a curse in favor for Tatski's Frenzy. Catpeach, that's exactly what you want, but here, I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of this. Oh, no, I can't. Now I'm a fan of this. I love what they're doing right now, because I was like, if you get curse and you're still working on a boss during that, you're wasting time, but that little delay, this is absolutely perfect. This is an insanely smart play coming out from Tatski's Frenzy.
Yeah, they have the delay. On the other side too, both top and bottom forts are so low that those are confirmed dead, I think, during this phase. So long as something doesn't go awry, you have Alex Dids pushing up in the top. This boss is going to go bottom. And you might even see mid fall, but no one's focusing there right now. That looks like they are going to be pushing along with this boss to see how far they can really get it. Maybe get down to keep gate. Oh, Coffee trying to go in, but there's
there was the second blink. That was the second blink from them. Leap from Sonya on top of the Brightwing. Oh, great VP catches the Lunara mid-air, but does the leaping strike actually pull them in? How does this? Okay, I was wondering how the leaping strike would work out for them right there. But the poison damage! The poison damage will be enough and they get the kill.
I'm sorry. Oh my god, I thought Coffee had that, and I think he did too.
He was so close to getting away, but just unfortunately wasn't able to do so. And now bottom lane has a boss there. Mid lane fort goes down. They can see that the enemy team is on boss currently. Oops, scary. Let's get the vision for our blue team. They can count a bunch of people in the bottom lane, so they'll open up this mid up for themselves. They'll go ahead and rotate away, grab a bruiser camp as Deathwing lands on top of it. And Cat Peach, Tatski's Frenzy is running away with the experience. A 2-level lead currently, but they want to fight.
Uh-oh, this is not a fight that I think BigScary's Ducks wants to take, but they're going to try to take it anyway. They lose the camp. I don't know, is Tatski's Frenzy just going to push into this keep as hard as they can, try to take it down? There's a condemn from Bimpy trying to sell this out a little bit, but they do have this camp they have to worry about at the same time, so fighting into this is insanely risky. There comes the Jugs to heal up the team. Bimpy still going in on the condemn, stalls out the Jugs. Alex Sid still going onto this keep seemingly for free because, again, there is no damage to really take out the health pool of Deathwing. There's not that percent base damage, and they take out the keep, and now they retreat, and they're so close to 16. If they wanted to, they can grab this tribute and then afterwards steal the boss on the side of BigScary's Ducks, and that would just be devastating.
Oh, I agree. Like, the way that they're playing this right now inside of Tatski's Frenzy is so very well. Let's actually get the vision. I'm going to look at the vision for the red team. We currently had Deathwing sitting in the bush just to the left of this camp down here, and so now that we're kind of not showing that, it's just like, well, yeah, there's still a Deathwing over there. Like, I keep turning it off and on. He's just like, they knew that they were on this camp the entire time, so just providing a little information for the friendly team. Lunara does send the Wisp over to this top boss just to check on what they're doing over there. There is no Sentinel Wisp, so it doesn't have that massive increase, but Joanna was scouted out right there, and I think they're gonna try and play around that right now. Let's get the vision once again for Bimpy. They do see, okay, so they did get vision on them, but this is 16 talent here into 14 into 13 or level 14. So by the time they rotate in, maybe they could play a VP.
Zera has VP. He needs to get up there like right now to be ready to land that ASAP.
Coffee's here.
As soon as this boss is dead, he's got to wait.
He's in range to blink. You can see them playing around the edge right there. Deathwing gonna be landing. Actually, they end up using the VP on the wrong side. Deathwing lands on top and takes it right there. Sonya does go down, so they do get that kill for themselves. Lunara trying to leap around, trying to get some value into the enemy team as Coffee does get the blink over the wall. The Cataclysm is gonna be coming through as well. Connects them to quite a few members, and this is going to be the dive out onto a couple as well. Bellowing War to force back the Thrall, but they're currently chasing out a couple others. Joanna does go down, I believe, to the Lunara below us, as this is going to be a bit of a chase from Tatski and Admech, but now that they have the boss pushing through top lane, they could be looking to try and take that keep. And I think, yeah, they realized this. They turned around to maybe going for the fight, but Admech is going to go for the channel while the rest of the team is looking for this push through top. Li Ming should have a lot of poke onto them during all of this, and that might delay it out, but Thrall does go down in the top lane as they siege it, and Big Scary Duck is very low as well.
It's easy to sit back and be like, that was a mispositioned Void Prison. At the same time, the boss wasn't quite dead, and it just seemed like maybe stopping the team fight might be enough for BigScary's Ducks to, you know, get a little stability, turn things around, but at the end of the day, it just didn't work out, and it's so unfortunate to see. 2 keeps down on the side of our red team. Boss does go down. There is no curse, though, threatening upon them, so they do have that going for them. So as long as they gotta catch up in levels, obviously, they need to play safe. The nice thing about having lanes pushed up against your side of the map is that it's easier, less risky experience. So they can try to capitalize on that fact and say, let's give over maybe one more tribute. Let's see how quickly we can catch up in XP so we're not sitting at a, 2016 talent disadvantage.
Well, we aren't even talent tiers. I also do want to say really quickly, thank you so much, Kaleo, for the clips in chat. I'm just there. You're clipping things. We got the juke. We got some good clips in chat. So thank you so much, Kaleo, for those. Zeratul, though, in bottom lane is in a bit of a rough spot. Now they are revealed. They're going to try and dip, dive, dodge, and they managed to do that exactly very well. Joanna going to re-engage right now, but Li Ming has to rotate quite a ways into this fight. Sonya has the leap onto one. Coffee going to pop the VP. Cat Peach, can they capitalize here?
It's hard to say. Coffee takes a lot of damage on the flip side. The Jugs are interrupted, but Coffee can't get healed up. The sun does go out onto BigScary's Scary Brightwing does go down. The fear goes out onto Bimpy, who's now running away as fast as possible. Admech on the chase. Doesn't have a Storm Bolt available to try to stall them for a little bit longer. This map is just looking so blue right now, Bahamut.
They, like, game 2 to game 3, the Deathwing play is definitely different, and this is actually a wonderful example of draft priority. They put Deathwing was the last pick for the members of Tatski's Frenzy, so they went through the entire draft realizing the enemy team and playing around the fact that the enemy team wasn't going to be going to percentage-based damage. I think the enemy team kind of was banking on the fact that they won that last engagement and did so much damage to the Deathwing they weren't expecting it, but they last pick it, and I gotta say, Cat Peach, Deathwing is making plays here. Alex is doing an amazing job on this Deathwing, and it looks like Tatski's Frenzy, the sandbagging is over, as they are going to be taking game number 3 on Cursed Hollow, and potentially setting themselves up to win the entire series, but game goes over to them. GG. Well played.
Looks like the juice is kicking in, Bahamut.
That last little break that we just took was enough to just sip some juice and
Rejuice up. See, you know, go in, I don't know. I am lacking on terminology for juicing, for I have not done it. So.
It's okay. As the games progress, our commentary will only get worse. Better. Definitely better.
It will get more unique, I think.
That's a good way to define it. Yes, unique. It'll get more unique.
So, somewhat tangent. So, interior design shows love to use the word bespoke.
Okay.
Instead of unique. Like a bespoke cabinet is a custom made cabinet. It's like one of a kind.
Okay.
But they always use the word bespoke. So our commentary tonight is just, it's bespoke.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant for this setting. It's custom crafted. It's artisanal commentary coming at you for this series.
I think if we do this again, we're just gonna call it the Artisanal League. That's it.
Artisanal Bespoke League.
There you go. It's absolutely perfect. All right, so let's find out. So Big Scary, first pick or map pick, and we'll find out what they want to do here. Let's go ahead and bring it on back to us 3. Bandit is currently figuring out how they want to break down the last game, because I think Bandit, of all people, wasn't the biggest proponent of Deathwing, and we've had millions of conversations about this. This is all I do after stream is I just talk to Bandit about Here's the Storm. And I gotta say, both games were good examples of counters and non-counters, if you will. Like, if Deathwing slips through a draft without any sort of way to deal with him, that was a really good example of how powerful Deathwing can be. The previous one, where they were picked super early, is a perfect example of how, well, we're going to be countering your Deathwing consistently. Like, Greymane in game 2, like, skill levels aside, like, let's not say like, oh, it's Alex versus Coffee, because they're both insanely strong players and they're very, very well versed in this game. If we're just purely looking at the drafts themselves, I think game 2 is a great example of how to make Deathwing's life suck, and game 3 was a great showing of just, well, Deathwing doing an amazing job consistently. Also, Day, thank you for gifting a sub to Kaleo.
I would love to jump back in while we wait for the map pick to come out, to go back to some more questions.
Yes, please.
So this might have been my favorite to ask the teams. So I asked them, in terms of their team's playstyles, would they consider themselves more polished and clean, like Bahamut's impeccably shiny head, or a bit more rugged and rough, like Bahamut's glorious beard? And on the side of Tatski's Frenzy, they consider themselves a bit more rugged for sure. They're running apparently on low sleep, and they might be, as they said, a little bit juiced. Smile. So, little insight there. I mean, that last game, I would say they were more on the clean side than the rugged side for sure.
Mm-hmm.
On the side of BigScary's Ducks, they were like, we didn't know we were supposed to know about playstyles coming into this, but they consider themselves a little bit more polished with a rugged interior and no direction, like controlled chaos. So
it's just
I feel like that means that your face is controlled chaos. It's like you got the cleanness up here, you got the ruggedness down here. You're just all over the place.
That's just there's my alias. If I ever get arrested, just like, do you go by anything? It's Controlled Chaos. Also, call me Tater Tot. Just that's it.
Call me Tater Tot.
Call me Tater Tot and Controlled Chaos. But let's go ahead. We have our game game 4 map. Typically used to casting best of 3s, but we are in game number 4, and this could be a game. This could win it for the members of Tatski's Frenzy, and they could have bragging rights for however long we decide that they have bragging rights for. And also, as I've imposed onto Tatski and Big Scary Duck, probably some free Taco Bell. Like, I'm not gonna like, if I play a best of 5 series against someone and I can bribe some Taco Bell out of them by winning, I think I'd go for that. I don't know about you, or just fast food in general.
I will not say no to free food. Unless it's free pickles, that's entirely off the table. But anything else, absolutely. Free food is so much better than food you pay for.
I mean,
usually.
Free food.
There are some
free food that you get because you beat your opponent. I feel like is even it just adds like a level. It's a level of seasoning that you can't buy at a store. It's just oh, these tacos are delicious. Oh, how's your taco, loser? Just But thank you all so much for joining our shenanigans. This is a made-up league. This is a fun night of games between a lot of members from the community. I hope you all are enjoying all of this. It was a blast to put together. It was really, really simple. The moment we brought it up to them, they were like, hell yeah. I brought it up to Cappy. She's like, hell yeah. So this has just been an absolute blast to do, and I'm glad that everyone's hanging out, enjoying the stream, enjoying everyone just I keep saying hanging out, but that's really all it is right now. It's just we're all hanging out watching Here's the Storm. Yeah, we definitely chilling here with
everyone
a lot
got
of
their appy juice
or sports beer or dad pop. That's always a good one too.
Your father soda.
Your father's soda. But I thought this would be a fun thing on a Sunday night before the work week starts, just to get something, a nice best of 5 series, and there's no prize pool on the line, so it really doesn't matter. The only stipulation is that you cannot go to Sandbox Volskaya, Sandbox Curse Hollow, or the ARAM map. So every other map is open and available. So we can go to Curse Hollow. These teams, I'll be honest, Capeach, these teams have been quite chicken.
I'm a little bit disappointed that
with
we
their
have
map
not
choices.
seen Haunted Mines. I had to explain Haunted Mines to someone who has not played this game before today. And let me tell you how hard that was.
So it's a map.
Like, wait a minute.
It's a map. You go to a lower level, and then you get skulls by beating up other shamblers, and then a golem comes up based on how many skulls you got. But the other team gets one too. What?
It was.
Oh, and it's 2 lanes, and the camps are super close together, and they're really, really impactful. All right.
Yeah, it's like there's 2 levels, and you can see the bottom level from the top level in like the center of the map. It's cool, bro. Like totally rad.
Wasn't there a bug at one point where Illidan can hunt in from the top level to the bottom? Because technically, in the actual game layout, the maps, if you look at it on like on a designer level, I think they're like next to each other. They're not actually layered within the game, so it's just below it visually. Anyways, we got readies from the team, so we're going to be going into this one, and I'm going to stop pretending like I know how this game was made. So either way,
video games are fun.
Video games are fun.
That sounds right to me, so I can't refute it, therefore it's truth.
From all of the design courses I took, which are this many, which is Goose Egg, I will say that's exactly how it's going to be played. But Capeach, we got to...
You took a Goose Egg level course, dude? That's fucking rad.
Let's get into our map number 4. It's going to be Infernal Shrines. The members of BigScary's Ducks had map pick priority for game number 1 in our best of 5 series. They picked Dragonshire and lost that one. Volskaya was their second map of their choice since they lost that first game, and they won that one. Now we're going to be... We just went to Curse Hollow as the map choice for the members of Tatski's Frenzy. They won that one, meaning that it's just been map pick priority all night, as map pick priority will be once again for BigScary's Ducks, taking us to Infernal Shrines. We see the Kel'Thuzad being banned out. Do we actually see a Deathwing ban here? Because Gazlo's been banned out, but I feel like it's just been a meme, Capeach.
We saw Deathwing banned out in game 1.
True.
And I actually was thinking the same thing. Do we see it banned out here? Because I think Alex is just going to run it again and again and again if he's given the opportunity, honestly. And especially if they're going to pull it out last pick. Better safe than sorry. They haven't really been banning out Alex Diz, and I feel like the bans that have been coming out from BigScary's Ducks are more generic than on the side of Tatski's Frenzy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Is it Alarak again, though? Yeah.
Yep.
So...
Boring! Tatski's Frenzy!
So the one thing I want to point out here is, like, we are going to another point control based map. Like Volskaya, like Cursed Hollow, like Infernal Shrines. This is definitely a wonderful place for Deathwing. This is also a very team siege based map as well, where like a lot of Sylvanas has priority. Sarah actually the one being target banned with the Ariel again. Okay.
Yes, second time.
That is, yeah. I believe, because they banned it out on Volskaya.
Volskaya.
Yeah, because
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Arbor Day, or whenever we have our next made-up party. But we all did, a bunch of us did Thanksgiving together, and we all decided that we're like, we should do this again, but like not on Thanksgiving. And so like I was like, let's do Cinco de Mayo, but like earlier. And then like someone was like, let's do Arbor Day. I was like, that's even better. Like, let's just do whatever holiday pops up that works with our schedules. But Jaina first pick here, I actually like this a lot. Good poke, good wave clear, good shrine clear. Overall, it's a strong first pick just to lock in. It doesn't show a ton of your composition. Doesn't say like, we're going dive, we're gonna blow you up, we're gonna play like a big wombo. But Lucio Joanna, strong rotations, and Lucio control in team fights can be really impactful, Kat.
Yeah, like Lucio being able to make some distance when you are clearing the shrine to be like, nope, you can't come in just yet. You have that burst healing that comes out from him as well for your whole team. Trickle healing is tricky to play around, which is the only thing. And so, especially against something like a Jaina, if you maybe really lean into the burst damage, which with a Lunara, I think you do. I think Lucio might struggle a little bit if Lunara really focuses down on one single target rather than spreading that poison around.
I love this so much. So right now, if I'm just to talk about draft BigScary's Ducks, I think they're looking at banning another healer, maybe even just a Lili. But let's talk about what they picked up on the side of Tatski's Frenzy. Typically, you see the Jaina paired with a Rainer because you have the ace in the hole, and that's such a good pairing. Jaina's baseline ability has that frostbite that it applies to heroes as you are doing basic ability damage. That means that Rainer can get ace in the hole value consistently. But if you're in a situation where people can get boostioed out of there, if they're slowed, and then you have Lunara consistently putting in poison damage with her also increased base movement speed, she can chase and get a lot of sustained kills. So I actually love this adaptation, plus the fact that we saw how valuable Sarah was in the last game. But this is a nice respect bang onto Li Ming, because this is a great map for Li Ming as well. And I love the way they're playing this on the side of Tatski's Frenzy, Cat Peach.
Yeah, it's the bans are good. For sure. I mean, other than the fact that you're still just banning the same two heroes over and over again, I think they're scared of coffee. That's all I'm gonna say. They're scared of cats.
I would honestly be scared of coffee. I've watched that boy play, and it's just like, no. Mm-mm.
He good, but like,
it's like he plays this game almost every day, like semi-professionally. Yeah. Just let the Kael'Thuzad happen. But there's another Deathwing. No percentage base damage.
This better be a Greymane then.
I would think so. It has to be.
It's a coffee pick. Like, you pick that Greymane, or you pick that Malthael, or you pick the Tychus.
I don't know how how Malthael does into Deathwing, because
great.
Oh, okay.
I've done it. It's so satisfying to land a last rites. I did it in a fight night.
Oh my god.
Playing Deathwing. I had one good play that entire series, and it was when I casually walked up behind a Deathwing and just dropped last rites at him, and he went kaput.
Oh my god, yes. Seven-sided.
Okay.
Seven-sided
against Deathwing is actually great. I love this. Love this.
As an actual Blizzard developer told me when we were at BlizzCon, I looked at them, we were just we were waiting in line for the demo area, and I was just like, just joking around with them, and I was just like, oh, percentage-based damage. He's like, yeah. He's like, he looked at me and dead in the eyes, and he goes, seven-sided strike is busted. And I was just like, okay, I'm ready to check that out myself, because seven-sided strike against Deathwing is something I haven't seen, but I've been most excited about, because I believe it's percentage-based damage off the total health pool, not like Greymane where it's 40% off the current health pool. It's based off your total. So if Deathwing has 6,700 health, you're doing X% of that, and that's gonna potentially chunk them. I'm so excited about this matchup right here. And I looked over at chat, and they're saying, double support. Yeah, Karazim is double support, but I expect this 1000% to be Iron Fists, or maybe even into Insight, just to get the cooldown reduction and do what I like to call the Forever Punch build.
Yeah, just you punch. It's One Punch Man, the video game. Like, what else do you need?
Let's find out. Well, what else we need is to find out what's going to be happening in this game number 4. We have the members of Tatski's Frenzy potentially taking the series on Infernal Shrines. Alex Diz is going to be on the Deathwing. Admech is going to be on the Muradin. Tatski going to be on the Lily. Locke is on the Jaina. And we have Sarah Onion on the Lunara.
10 seconds.
The red team, we have BigScary's Ducks. They need to win this to stay in the series. Coffee is going to be on Karazine. Big Scary Duck is going to be on Convection Kael'thas. Bimpy will be on Johanna. Fluffy on the Lucio. And Tilted Sister on the Blaze.
Tilted Sister. I know you said that there's Convection, but it didn't register till I saw the actual talent itself, and I was just like, yeah, like that's an odd, character swap to have someone like Tilted Sister who's very, very impactful to be on your solo lane. But it's still Convection Kael'thas.
It's Convection Kael'thas.
So we don't need to talk about role swaps. We need to talk about Convection Kael'thas. Also, to note, we have Lunara solo laning into Blaze. This is going to be a bit of a struggle for Blaze, in my opinion.
Yep.
Range into melee is a rough go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think at that point, if you are Blaze, you say, I'm not gonna really try to fight this lane and try to win it out. I'm just gonna stall as best as possible or just fight it at my fort, because it's not really worth, in my opinion, going in, taking that free damage against a ranged character that you can't really fight against on your own. Especially now that they have the Jaina kind of rotating up there as well. But we see Fluffy coming in, trying to get the heals out, at least to help this Blaze a little bit.
Is this the first game of Fluffy on a healer? Because I feel like they role swapped as well. Wasn't Fluffy playing like main tanks and solo lane for a while?
Fluffy, I think.
They played the Diablo in game 1. That's what I remember.
Yes.
But I'm blanking on everything else.
I think it's just I have not been writing traps down.
Oh no, me either. That's why I was like, maybe Kat remembers.
I think they were on Johanna at one point.
Okay.
As well.
So a couple role swaps between teams. It's always interesting to me because it just shows a little bit of their flex within their own skill range, as well as within their own hero pools. Like it's just always something nice to know. It's like being able to play healer one game and then main tank the next game. That's not an easy, in my opinion, that's not that easy to swap, because it's two different mentalities, positioning, aggression, everything wise overall. But we have Kael'thas slowly working through Convection, sitting at 2 out of the 20 stacks. If anyone,
Galax did.
I don't know. Can you gank the Deathwing without any sort of big percentage-based burst?
Not yet, but soon, I think. Keep an eye out for it. Jaina is going into Arcane Intellect.
Huh. That's not something we see often.
No.
I guess it would provide you a little more sustain during some of these engagements. But speaking of engagements, bottom lane currently has the Impaler camp being fought over, but it will be going over in favor for BigScary's Ducks. We have Lunara still pushing at top lane. She did go into, I believe, Nature's Calling at level 4. So once again, 125% increased damage to non-heroic units, or non-heroic things, I believe, because it even affects structures as well. But this will be first objective, going to be in bottom lane, will be Frozen Punisher at that, as Coffee is just going to be still clearing out that bottom. But Jaina trying to poke in on this, and Skeletal Defender's so far in favor for Tatski's Frenzy, but they all need to rotate in and deal with this, as Muradin's making sure mid lane's cleared out. No pressure onto the Shaman camps either, Cappy. It's a bit of an odd one. I usually see teams break off and immediately get that, but Tatski in a bit of a rough spot, needs to use those fast feet to get out.
Oh, Fluffy taking a lot of damage, trying to still keep the heal up, not necessarily speed boost out of there. Admech takes the Living Bomb, eats that damage. So far, this is still pretty even on Skeletal Defenders on both sides. Twisted Sister, though, ends up stuck in the middle of a lot of heroes, and I think the poison damage will take them out. Blaze will go down there. This is looking like, even though the lead is for BigScary's Ducks, they might have to back out here. They're still going in. Coffee going in onto Lock. There's the dive. Wait, Coffee, are you gonna get this? He doesn't get it. He's gonna try to swing around from the back, maybe re-engage, but it looks like he's on the retreat, but he's being chased by 4. Unfortunate, but that has given Lucio a little bit of time and Bimpy to get a couple more skeletal defenders. This is tense, Bahamut.
This is a lot of back and forth so far. It's 33-33, or actually it's just rising on both sides. Big Scary Ducks back from Hearthing, gonna zone them away with a big ol' stomp. That will be Frozen Punisher going over to Tatski's Frenzy with 7 talent here in their pocket as well. This is gonna be Alex swapping to a different form. I believe they swapped into, not World Breaker, but the other one that I don't, Destroyer form? I believe, because I think World Breaker has the ground splitting ability, and that's gonna be a good old dive onto Lucio, getting smushed right there. This is Coffee and friends trying to back out, but this is definitely bottom lane fort going down in favor for the members of Tatski's Frenzy, as this Punisher will lock it down. Jump coming through. Bimpy gonna be getting locked down for a second, not gonna be getting the Stormbolt, but that's a Cataclysm coming through, gets them right in front of the enemy team. This is a Punisher still 62% here, Cat Peach. The siege power from Deathwing and the zoning potential is huge, but I would not expect it to be this strong, as they're taking down a keep front gate potentially 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, again, with Deathwing, you can just throw out that Q, that Fire Blast, and just zone out around the Punisher, and it's so hard to engage into that. And I feel like Big Scary's Ducks has to play really safe with their composition you don't want to do. You want that Lucio to help you engage and that Kerosene to really dive in. And if you're so scared to ever do that, it's rough and you feel bad. It just feels really bad. Tatski though, oh, that living bot actually spread onto a lot of members of Tatski's Frenzies.
Tatski
is trying to do their best to zone out. Everyone's looking so low on this point. Sarah Ryan, it does eventually go over to Big Scary's Ducks. Bimpy barely alive. Lucio with the heals, and that is just a bloodbath. Big Scary's Ducks nails it there. Let me reverse everything I said. I think they're gonna be okay in this match.
Coffee with a double dash. Sarah in a bit of a rough spot, but they have a faster base movement speed. There's nothing for Coffee to dive to, and Sarah gets out with some 200 health. Meanwhile, Deathwing is currently 1v3, doesn't get a kill. Buys a little bit of time as I have to burp through all of that, but the camp does go over to the members of Big Scary's Ducks, and I agree with you 1000%, Cat Peach. I was looking at this and I was like, man, Tatski's Frenzy's looking strong in game 4, and they're looking to run it down bottom. But now, as the game's progressed here, I'm not counting them out. Like, I definitely think that they've got a lot of advantages here, team fight wise.
Oh, please just go on Alex. Please
oh, here it is.
Here
it is. 7-sided strike. Majority of it actually hits right there. That took a lot of damage. Look at these dives back in. Alex lost about 3 things of shielding. Gonna Hearth in front of the gate, but realizes maybe I should just tap well and continue to soak. So not gonna Hearth fully, but Lunara getting free push, and I love this Cat Peach. They take out well in top lane. They have a Sentinel Wisp over on the enemy side camp. So if they are getting out of here, they need to bank on that leaping strike. There's one into Bimpy, and that should be enough. That's perfect for them getting the well and everything.
Fluffy was so optimistic. They're like, maybe we go, and no, we don't. I just want to call out, and that's why you take Draconic Might at level 1 with Deathwing. Like, Deathwing probably, maybe not probably, might have died from that 7-sided strike, but the protection every time a plate fell absolutely saved Alex in that engagement over that bottom camp.
That level 1 talent, I feel like any Deathwing I've casted so far has been taking that. But meanwhile, in top lane, Bunker's gonna be dropped from the Blaze. That will be shredded through. This will buy some time for Fluffy to get in here. Ring of Frost goes out, but it's not gonna connect. I thought it actually was gonna catch the toe of Lucio. A little bit of a delay on that one. The Break It Down was also used during all of that. So that's gonna be 2 heroics, actually 2 heroics on the side of Big Scary's Ducks, as Tatski's Frenzy is only gonna be getting hit with a 7-sided strike, not getting a full value from that one right there. We are seeing the Jet Propulsion from the Blaze coming on in, but Cat Peach, the Pyroblast is onto Sarah. The jumps come out as well. Cleanse is gonna be there, but they still get the kill. I cannot believe it, Cat Peach, and they can step further forward looking for another kill into Alex.
Yeah, they're going in onto Alex. You don't have 7-sided strike up just yet. Lock, though, is the target, gets caught in the gravity lapse and is taken down. So 2 members of Tatski's Frenzies are down here. Bimpy channeling the start of the shrine and getting the lead on the skeletal defenders. This is so good, and I feel like this is the play I'm talking about. They're sitting at a little bit level advantage. I think they figured out how they want to play into Deathwing now, assuming that it's going to be a late game pick, as we saw again in this draft like we did in the last game. Coffee chasing on Alex Sid, though. maybe just waiting for the opportunity to get the seven-sided, but I feel like it would be a little bit of a waste here given the retreat status, but just get him down as much as possible.
No way, no way, no way, no
way! No, oh no, Coffee doesn't get it. Oh, so close. I feel like that was a risk. I don't think, in my head, that wasn't gonna make it. But he tried. The ring doesn't connect.
I thought they were going to have that for a second there. Deathwing does fly into the sky, and they do have the bellowing roar up and available, so we'll see what happens with that one. Okay, so there's the landing coming down. They did get some shielding back. We do see that the Punisher is being worked back through in favor for Tatski's Frenzy. I actually thought this was BigScary's Ducks. I thought this was the Ducks Punisher 1000% through, but now it's 22 to 23, rising in the side of Tatski's Frenzy. Deathwing is zoning 2 members away on the opposing side. Really quickly, for anyone wondering, 14 out of the 20 stacks on the convection for the Kael'thas as Cataclysm comes through. Bellowing Roar as well. Leaping Strike onto Fluffy. Splintered Spear doesn't find the kill, but now Blaze is in a rough spot, and I think Tilted Sister is going to get picked out of this one. There's no way you save them right there. Fluffy can't rotate back into this.
I know that it was Deathwing helping Sabati Tilted Sister, but it just made me remember that there are... You can body block Deathwing. If you have your whole 5 team, you can trap him and he can't move even though he's that big. So in the spirit of your stream, Bahamut, hashtag take that to your games.
Take that to your games.
Body block the Deathwing.
Body block Deathwing. Take that to your games. Pushing through top lane, Arcane Punisher coming on in as well. Oopsie, that's going to be the jump over the wall. Ring of Frost coming out. That seems like more of a zoning ring than anything else. We currently have Lunara free pushing mid lane, so this is, and they can see this on the opposing side, so they know that this isn't going to be a massive push in. 7-sided strike came out from the Kerosene and it actually didn't connect on anyone. It's not the longest cooldown, but still, that is a cooldown, meaning that Deathwing can be more aggressive. They don't need to worry about percentage-based damage. And look at them trying to zone a big scary duck away as they use the Bellowing Ward. Doesn't find any sort of zoning potential from that. Stormbolt coming out from Admech, and they disengage right there, Tatski. They want to chase into this, and they have the Lucio speed, but seems like they might be able... Yeah, this is completely disengaged while Lunara gets free push in mid, and she's able to get out of there and almost getting a free fort in mid.
So close. That'll take like 2 hits by somebody to finally get down. So that'll... I mean, that's lost real estate at that point. You don't bother trying to defend that, in
it's
my
500
opinion.
health, yeah.
Yep, Condemned does go out, and Mech gets caught in the fire. But it looks like, I mean, Tatski's Frenzy will continue to push that. So I feel like the defense is an interesting choice by BigScary's Ducks. But right now they are defending this contention over the siege camp. Alex does drop in, bunker coming out, everything coming out. There is the leaking stripe. Lucio in the bunker along with Blaze. Everyone is just throwing out as many ultimates as possible. Blood being shed on both sides. The ring does connect onto 2. There are the jugs from Lily. The fear comes out from Deathwing. Tilted Sister still trying to hold onto the point. The Cataclysm means that Alex moves away from this point. They're trying to get the kill onto Tatski so they can get this camp. How much is this camp worth for both these teams? That everyone is going to fall. The blind does come out from Lily. Tilted Sister is the last one standing. I don't think they take out Lunara. Oh, but they get the siege camp! What an epic fight for just a camp, Bahamut.
Meanwhile, Alex was just chasing Big Scary Duck away. Oh, wait, did they get the flight over here? Oh, Big Scary didn't get the interrupt, and I'm still on it. Oh, my God. Here's the thing. I will say this. If Deathwing didn't leave this area to chase Kael'thas away, one, Kael'thas might have gotten the chain bomb value because there was so much chain bomb value consistently, and I think they actually have cooldown reduction. No, they increased the radius with the fission bomb. I thought purple was cooldown reduction, but that, like, Big Scary Duck being zoned away, while it took the Deathwing away from the fight, which would have won that over for them, definitely stopped them from all dying right there because the chain bombs were just constantly spreading. Meanwhile, mid lane, they do have an Impaler camp of their own being pushed in. I believe this is probably like the first time we're seeing the Bruiser camp being picked up for top lane. Next Punisher will be Mortar Punisher, and that will be in mid lane, while Murden and friends are clearing out the camp in bottom. It's 16 up on both sides when it comes to talents. Punisher up and available, and we're 13 minutes in the game here, Cappy. It's not the strong, like these Punishers aren't like destroying through lanes, but we're still, you know, we'll probably be around the 15-ish mark in the game, and that's going to scale quite a bit, and we're going to be probably looking at a fort for mid lane on either side, definitely, maybe a keep, but definitely a keep front gate. Like, these Punishers are really going to scale and really start to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we already just had that fort finally drop on the side of BigScary's Ducks, so BigScary's Ducks has more to lose and everything to gain if they do or do not grab this Punisher. They absolutely need to do this. They're on equal talent tiers. They have a couple of heroics up. I mean, everyone has heroics up now. The Ring Frost does go out. There's the Cataclysm. Coffee on the chase. The Pyroblast goes out. Does get the Lunara. Alex is on the opposite side of the map while Admech trying to take out Coffee. They're able to jump back to their totem. There goes the 7-sided strike onto Alex. So far, no one really dying other than the first initial kill. The Condemn did go out. Admech taking that living bomb. There's the stun from Blaze. Condemn again, keep Admech into this fight. Gortos kind of in place at that point. Bunker does come out from Blaze. Everyone getting in just to buy a little bit more time. Alex coming back in full armor, a lot of health, trying to do their base, but the rest of BigScary's Ducks focusing down on him hard. 27 skeletal defenders on the side of the red team, and I think they're going to be able to get this, and they'll be able to finally push out this mid lane and possibly get their first structure in this game, Bahamut. But they have catapults, they have a big wave up on top that they have to worry about that. So they have to kind of spread out their resources, and they can't fully push with this Punisher.
Look at that thick boy just coming down the lane trying to push back Coffee. Like, this, I know there's a Punisher mid, there's an engagement there, but like, he's just gonna eat a 7-sided strike, hello? Like, I want to stay here, but I know that there's other things happening in the mid lane, so let's jump over there really quickly as the Punisher jumps over the fort. That's going to be Tatski taking a lot of that initial damage. Deathwing did fly out of top lane as they disappeared right there, but looking at your minimap at that bottom lane, you can see there's a catapult, and it is dealing significant damage to that keep already. Mid lane fort going down. Jet propulsion from the Blaze will connect on to one of the players with a gravity lapse afterwards. Alex Did's going to be dropping down. BigScary Duck going to be the initial target going down as well. Admech is going to pop the avatar form as Sarah is getting so much damage with the leaping strikes. They find the Lucio. That is going to be a 2 for none, and Catpeach, they turn this around so very well. They're going to chase Joanna, but realistically, you either rotate top, you either rotate bottom, and you try and take a keep.
Yeah, I think first what you do is try to take as many camps as possible, and then you rotate up to top, try to take out that keep, or even bottom, actually, if you have those camps pushing through there. Those are your lowest health keeps, or easy targets, and we see Alex already moving up there while everyone else kind of focuses elsewhere on the map. They're trying to capitalize on the time that they have where they know they're not going to be contested as strongly as if their opponents had 5 men on the board.
I agree. Like, this is, I was thinking you rush keep, but I think this is a better idea. You're currently just pushing up all the waves. You're forcing the enemy team back. This is just going to be a lot of punches coming out onto a couple members. Leaping strike from Sarah to get her onto the right side over there. Coffee very away from the friendly team. Yeah, you can see the retreat and the aggressive pings coming out from the friendly and the opposing side. The little spray over the wall. Oh my god. Able to disengage. Yeah, the side steps are good.
Oh, they're great. Oh, look at the Proteus, the ghost Proteus. I love him.
Deathwing lands literally on. Oh, you're fine. The Deathwing lands on top of the keep. The 7-sided strike did go out as well, but here's a ring of Frostcat Peach, and they're trying to capitalize on top of that Lucio.
Yeah, nothing gets caught in the ring. The healing jugs are out. Nothing's stunning out. Coffee trying to do the damage that they can, but they know they're going to go down. BigScary Duck taking a lot of damage, has to play safe. Here comes the Cataclysm. It is going to catch BigScary, and there comes Lunara, or Muradin rather, with the leap and the Stormbolt to take out Kael'thas. This keep is going down. Blaze going in with the stun. We know who doesn't get stunned? It's Deathwing, and he's just going to continue to onslaught the rest of the team. Tilt's sister should be going down next, and honestly, this might be game for Tatski's Frenzy right here.
They find another kill. All 5 go down the opposing side. Deathwing with only 1 armor level. They still have 1,500. That's like Deathwing's current health pool is leaming with glass cannon, like post 16. Like, but it looks like the GGs are actually going to be called from our red team, and BigScary's Ducks, they'll be going down in our best of 5 series. Tatski's Frenzy proving, at least in this series, Sharks are better than Ducks. GG's going over to the members of them. Well played.
Sharks do eat ducks, and so I feel like Darwin would appreciate the end of this game. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep the natural order of things, I think, is what Tatski's Frenzy was trying to do.
I think they did a very good job of just keeping the natural order in their favor. But I don't know about you. Do you want to go check out and go talk to these teams, see how they're feeling after all those games?
I would love to, Bahamut.
All right,
Absolutely.
let's jump into the Sharks channel.
We'll follow
Okay.
you to the end of the world.
Hello, Sharks. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
Hello.
Bravo, Pagyu.
Pog you back.
Go Pog.
So first question, why no Asmodan?
Were we
Have
supposed
any
to play
asthma
him?
players
Good
here?
interview. No, I'm
Do
just
you
kidding.
not know who Bahamut is? Alex?
We didn't
I'm
have
not
a
an
Hamid
asthma
on our
player.
team, but maybe next time.
There you
I
go.
like Zagara, not Asmo.
Actually, the Zagara play was awesome. Like, that was so much fun. Let's back up, though. Let's go to game number 1. You guys had a dominant game number 1. They banned out the Deathwing, but overall, it was a comfortable game. Did you feel like this was going to be an easy 3-0 for you all?
No. definitely
Really,
not.
no. And, like, they were definitely giving us our run for the money. So, yeah. I feel like our teams were pretty well matched out. We got some good picks, though, but,
Yeah,
fighting
round
over that
one.
camp was a lot of fun.
I also thought it was a lot of fun. As
I
a
thought it was on point,
was
though.
great.
So-
Y'all threw out so many heroics just for 3 measly little punish hero throwing boys. And it was great. You mentioned Tatski in the interview that we did that y'all were juiced. And I was curious, like, what kind of juice? Like, are we talking like apple and kale? Maybe some like carrot juice? Like, tell me about your juicing that you do before this match.
Well, we all have like our own, juice of choice that we prefer. Some people we're doing the ginger ale and whiskey juice, and others are doing the kale juice, and then there were some doing the Tatski pill juice, but we all had our own juice. I'm sure there was some apple juice.
Sorry, the Tatski pill juice?
You don't
Yeah,
know?
Can you
What?
elaborate?
You've
I
never
don't know.
heard of the Tatski pill?
I haven't.
Oh
we
my
gotta
gosh.
we gotta mail some Tatski pills over to Cat Peach.
We do.
Oh my.
Gotta give her some.
Am I
of
gonna
those
get
free
arrested
samples.
if someone finds that in my
No.
mailbox, or-
They just make you a better esport gamer.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm in California and like everything's legal here, so it's like probably
Easy GG.
fine.
Yeah, really good. I saw you
All right.
over there with your apple juice, Cat.
Yeah, this is really artisanal free-range apples.
Yeah, I've got some really old grape juice too.
So let's talk about game number 2, because I feel like this was a bit of a not defining moment, but it was a bit of a back and forth. Like, let's talk about that, because you drafted Deathwing super early, and they had some great counters in a sense. Did you feel like it was just the early game Deathwing that really won that game for the enemy team, or was it just their plays overall that just kind of held you back?
I think we were playing some characters we weren't really sure how to play, or we weren't as confident as we were our other compositions. Because I'm pretty sure comps 3 and 4 were almost identical. The only difference was Sonya and Jaina. So, like, the game 2, I think we just made some errors. I don't even think Deathwing was problematic. I mean, sure, Cursed Bullet, but even then, it wasn't like that was why we lost. I feel like in game 2, they were very decisive with what they wanted to do, and that was just from one point onward, they kept doing that, especially with Li Ming. They were very good with Li Ming.
Oh my God.
Yeah, those balls.
Yeah, big balls right in the face, just eating them.
Super big balls.
They were huge.
But we went into Cursed Hollow, we went to Infernal Shrines, and you do this last pick Deathwing. Do you feel like that was a big factor for you all to take these games, just having the Deathwing later and no percentage-based damage going into them, or was the percentage-based damage not really something you were worried about?
I wasn't really worried about it, because I was kind of gonna play it no matter what. It was more of making sure that the team felt good about what we were doing, and that we're all on things that we're good with, and like, as long as we're comfortable and we're chill, like Deathwing, you kind of throw him in as just a DPS character, like your melee or ranged assassin, because he can switch between the two forms, right? So as long as everything else, as long as your composition can fill the rest of the requirements, you're fine.
Okay. Cat Beach, do you have any questions for the team?
The apple juice has kind of flooded my brain a little bit, so I'm somewhat struggling. Actually, going off of what you just said, Alex, because we're all about learning here on Bahamut Stream, if you are faced up against a team with a Brightwing, what would you suggest people do in order to best defend or, try to capitalize on the fact your opponent has a Deathwing. What do you do against him, essentially? Like, how do you focus that, or how do you not focus him? Like, what is the strategy of facing him?
Well, Deathwing, he has everything that he does is like he has to load up to do, right? So you can kind of just like ignore what he does and just, you know, it's like with Johanna, when Johanna like engages in, as long as like once that initial engage is over, you can kind of just like hop around her and get around Johanna, kind of like with Deathwing. Like, he has to charge up everything that he does. So once he starts lightning breathing, essentially, like he just kind of like, oh, yeah, just kind of move around. So, you know, vice versa, if you're Deathwing, you really have to do everything very like coordinated. You have to be able to see like 3 seconds into the future with how you cast your abilities.
Speaking of casting abilities, there was that 1v1 between you and Coffee on Cursed Hollow in bottom lane. Did it feel like
Oh my god.
Did it feel like it was like all right, I'm gonna get him. Wait, 1.5 seconds. All right, I'm gonna get him. All right, wait, 1.5 seconds. Like, was it just you cursing, or was it just like you thought you could actually get him with one of your abilities?
I mean, I was dominating the lane so badly, like it was already written off as W. So if I just had gotten him as well, it was just a cherry on top. Honestly,
Dang.
like, he couldn't do anything against me. He tried, but you know, in the end,
Yikes.
yeah.
All right, but before we let all of you go, before we close up this interview and all of that, any shoutouts, any words that you'd like to throw to chat? The floor is yours. If we want to start from top to bottom, from like Alex downward, just there was some sort of order. Please go ahead.
Wait, me?
Yeah. Do you have any shoutouts? Do you have
All
any?
of you.
All of you.
Yeah. Shout outs to Tatski for inviting me to play, and to my team for being extremely well coordinated, communicating amongst each other, and just having a great time. Thank you guys.
Locke?
Just to add to that, I guess, we were pretty tilt proof either. Like, none of us ever kind of got toxic or freaked out at all. So
It shows. It shows in the games, honestly.
yeah, I mean, even after our first loss, we just kind of pulled ourselves back together and recomposed ourselves and went back in.
Sarah?
Sarah doesn't speak, but she's typing in the stream chat.
Oh, okay. Well, Sarah had
We'll get to her last.
Aww.
Sarah had some of the best like Lunara play I've seen in a long time. So I'm gonna say that. But Tatski, while they're typing, Tatski, let's jump to you.
Basically, like, you guys for casting, like, thank you so much for putting this on. This was a great idea. And my team, Alex, Sarah, Sirlock, Tugu, I had to get 2 fills because just scheduling wouldn't work out. And then, Big Scary and Bimpy, Coffee, Fluffy, Tilted for playing against us. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully we didn't tilt you guys. It was a lot of fun, and this was a blast. I hope we do this again. And thank you for everyone for being here, watching. You guys are great.
So wholesome. All right, and Taki, do you want to close us out?
I mean, nothing I can say that hasn't been said already. So just big shout outs to our casters, Bahamut and Cat Peach.
Oh, I forgot Bandit.
Oh, and
And
Bandit,
Bandit,
the goodest
yeah.
boy.
The best
He
boy.
had such
So
good
well behaved.
analysis.
He, like,
He had to dig it up
Great.
from his blanket. Like,
Literally.
He worked hard to find it.
We've got
Is that a
Al-
duck?
yeah,
We've got Alex.
he's got a duck.
He doesn't have a shark. Oh no.
He's like the octopus that
And then shout outs for the other
figured
team
out
too.
World
We
Cup.
got Duck, we got Bimpy. Huge shout out to Coffee for being a good sport about us banning his picks all the time.
Yeah,
to Fluffy
Coffee,
and
sorry.
Tilted. Sorry, Coffee. You're just too dangerous
Oh, wait,
to let
not sorry.
Let him play Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah.
Let Sarah play Gaslow.
You started it.
It's just too scary. I played against it before. It's too scary.
It's just too much.
Yeah, I've been slapped by that KTZ before. It
Those
was
chains.
But Sarah has said that thank you to Cat Peach and I for casting the shenanigans. So thank you
Cheers
so much.
to everybody.
Thank you so much for the games. This was such a blast. Cat Peach, let's jump back into video after we get out of this one, and we'll wrap up stream. So thank you all once again, and hopefully we'll do this again very soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a
Good
good
job,
night.
guys. You did it.
GG's. GG's.
Thank you for the Probius.
Also, enjoy
Probius.
your free Taco Bell that I've decided that you win. So somehow, some way, just that's Big Scary Duck's problem. But enjoy your free Taco Bell. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great
Good
night.
night.
Yeah,
Alrighty, stream. We're gonna get the video with Cat Peach back up and running, and she is already back. She's there. She's on screen. This was an absolute blast, Cat Peach. We need to do this again.
This was fucking fun. Like, I love this.
So
This is so good.
if
So
you-
here's the thing.
Okay.
Like, what do we do next? Is the thing. 'Cause
either
I would love to pick a new captain to go up against Tatski's team, whether or not it's like in the same form. You know, like maybe it can change.
who you
But
thinking?
I think the captain should stay the same.
Okay.
I mean, there's 151 people in chat right now, so I don't know who should be the next captain. But if you want to be a captain against Tatski Chu's team, maybe you let Bahamut know. That's all I'm saying. But you've got some thinking to do right now.
DMs are open, but really quickly, Tatski, thank you for the 10 gifted subs to everybody in chat. That is so... Thank you so much. Big Scary Duck, also thank you for the resub during that interview. Thank you for the 11 months of support, my friend. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone that's been following this evening and supporting the stream and rating over. This honestly was like a test of like, oh, like let's see what it'd be like to do a bunch of community stuff. We're gonna do this again and we're gonna figure it out over time, but I don't want to make any decisions on stream because we've been drinking and I don't want to make those decisions for people. So
We've been drinking apple juice.
Apple
and
juice.
Father soda.
and dad pops, yes, and father sodas. So we will figure this out when we have a more clear vision in mind. But I just want to thank everyone this evening for hanging out, for supporting the stream, for really making this event really, really big and possible. So I love you all. We will definitely be doing this again. We'll figure it out. We got a little bit of time. I'm trying to close out stream, but Aether's going to raid over is going to gift 5 more subs. So really quickly, while this is happening, Drax, Romedy, Midnight Fire, Mixels, Big Doodoo Head 69, because you got to say the full name, Lingaria, Himo Santiago, Mushin, Milk and Cookies, Akana DLH, Silver Jackal, Soda Freak, Jordo Max, and Belrog all enjoy your gifted subs. Seriously, thank you so much, Tatski. Thank you so much.
Silver Jackal, I miss you.
Thank you
Just throwing
all.
that out there.
Thank you all for being such amazing people. Thank you for supporting the community. Thank you for supporting the stream. Thank you for supporting all of this. I don't have words, but we'll figure this out, and we're going to definitely put another one of these on. Cat Peach, while the subs are going through, where can people find you? What are you up to? And what are you doing this week, I guess is a better question, because I know you have some games that you might be casting.
Yeah. So on Twitch and Twitter, I'm CatPeachGG. If I'm not depressed, I usually will try to cast games, but it's been rough lately, so I'm trying my best. But I'm planning on casting 2 games tomorrow for NGS, so you can catch that on my channel. And I just want to give a big thumbs up to this guy, Bahamut. He is the best. I like to remember when he was the first person I ever casted with.
It's so awkward.
And I'm
Nothing
drunk
worked.
enough. I'm gonna tell this story. I
Do
think
it.
we've talked about it. I'm gonna tell it. I was so nervous because I was like, this guy Bahamut, everyone talks so highly of him. He's one of the Heroes Hype like casters. I was like, oh my god, and I'm just getting into it, and I was like, oh and god. And he was like, oh no, it's cool. And we had this fucking scuffed fucking stream because of fucking reasons with heroes and casting like old patches and shit like that. But we've become really good friends, and you're the best dude. So if you have Twitch Prime, or if you want to subscribe to this lad, make sure you do that right now. Right now, I'm telling you, because it's Christmas and it's December, and you have $5 to spare for this gentleman.
It mostly just goes to Bandit. 99% of it goes to Bandit.
Look at this sleepy puppy. You just want to support him
The
so
boy.
much.
But thank you all.
Bandit is your baby Yoda.
He is.
I think
He
we
is.
can say.
He is everyone's baby Yoda. Let's be honest here. Bandit, you want to come say hi to stream before we go? Come on, come say hi, bud. Come here, bud. He's like, what's in it for me? Come here.
He's fucking best
Oh
out.
yeah, who's the guy? Alrighty. Oh, he's stretching. Hi everybody. Okay, thank you all so much for supporting the stream this evening. I really, honest to God, like it means the absolute world to me. I love you all so very much. We're gonna do this again. We'll figure it out over time. But until then, we're gonna raid over Kid Kerrigan. She is currently doing a charity stream. They're trying to raise money for children. I think
Can
it's
we
just
do
for
a
children.
raid word? Can we be like
Yes,
taco raid?
and when you get
Taco raid.
into when you get into Kid Kerrigan's stream, just spam taco. Tacos. Name your favorite taco. Name your favorite burrito. Just some sort of taco-based food. Just spam that in her chat as we are going to be rating over. So I'm going to send that command now. I want to thank you all once again for hanging out. It has been an absolute blast with all of you. This is going to round it up for us. If you did enjoy the stream, obviously you can follow here. Please, if you enjoyed Cat Peach's streaming, please hit !CoCast. You can find all of her information there. But that'll wrap it up for Cat Peach and I this evening. Go ahead and show Kid Kerrigan some support. Go save the kids, and don't forget just to spam taco when you get into your stream. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye!